right, people, my people. You know, it's happy to it's joy, if I may, to be with you this November 1st, this first day of Rovember. Please tell me you voted or you're going to vote, you've in the process of voting, or you've recently voted, or you're just voting only once, and only if you're a legal citizen over the age of 18 years old. But if you meet those criteria, by God, let me know you voted your vote. Yeah. Also, be glad, for I bring you joyful tidings, that this is not smell-o-vision, because I've been working in the garage all day, and I'm ripe. I'm so ripe, I think the cats won't even come to visit. I think they'd rather hang out next to the litter box. Good Lord. But it's what you get for, when the weather cools here in Vegas and you have a couple of days and you're able to get into the garage without cooking and clean up the mess. Oh, by the way, yes, I'm glad you like my shirt. It is a Space Paranoids shirt. Yeah, I'm friends with Flynn. I'm a friend of Flynn. Just gonna call it. So it's technically it is a Tron shirt, but it's a Metatron shirt because it's actually a shirt for the game that was inside the game, not actually Tron itself. But another story for another time. I'm so happy to be with you today. You know, boy, when the Paul Pelosi story dropped, the right wing desperately seized upon it in an effort to what about their way out of the fact that a bunch of their assholes just got sent to jail for like 7 to 10 years for trying to beat cops to death. So they were like, that's not us. This guy was it must have been San Francisco gay lover, right? They're both in their underwear and everybody like, all right. Yes. You've seen the backstory. We've watched this happen. The mess D'Souza jumped in. We will be, there are obviously holes in the story but Glenn Beck is on the case. I don't know if in his clip today, if he'll be at chalkboard level where he'll break it down for us. Because if anybody knows about hammer-wielding gay prostitutes allegedly breaking into the house of the person they're there to service, hey, I'm not here to yuck your yum. If carpentry and home invasion are your kink, you know, let your freak flag fly. I would avoid doing it wherever the fuck he is. Is he in Texas or in a hollowed out mountain somewhere? Anyways, yeah, Glenn's got it all figured out. We'll see that. But if you'll notice, right in the very beginning of all this stuff, one of the things that came up was that our dear friend Jimmy Dore, who was on vacation when all this went down, isn't that the way, was name-checked by this fucker, by David DePape. DePape? I'm going to call him DePape, because that's what it looks like. Because some people are saying DePape. There's an A in it. DePape seems a little weird. I'm going with DePape. David of the Papes. As in smear. I don't know. Anyways, so Hype Train. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and support the show in any way that you can. I know you want this station to grow bigger and better than everybody else out there because I'm the only one checking these assholes against the boards. Okay. That's a sports analogy, not a violence analogy. Just saying. Okay, so Jimmy Dore blamed for Paul Pelosi's act. No. Don't pat yourself on the back, fucko. And by the way, I don't even, honest to God, I guess he's in this clip. I don't know, because Aaron Mate was filling in. I'm assuming he is. I'm assuming, you know, like Aaron Mate will take that nasty old man shouting, get off my lawn chair that Jimmy sits in and take over the show so that he and Blumenthal can pull audience to the gray zone, you know, farm audience the way Russell Brand does. But I doubt that he's going to throw himself in front of the bus that Jimmy Dore built. Although I would not be shocked if we went back and looked at the clips that David the Pape cited on his blog and found that it was, you know, that Mate or Blumenthal were in those clips. I'm going to go with Mate. Probably not Blumenthal, because the dude hated the Jews. And also falls into a curious valley, which I think many people have pointed out, that if you hate Israel for doing to the Palestinians, something to the Palestinians, but you don't hate Russia for doing the same thing to Ukraine, then it must be some intrinsic trait of the people doing the attacking that you have more of a problem with. So I just think this guy rang this dude's conspiracy dinner bell, but I want to hear how if Jimmy manages to make his way through it, and I also want to see if my tweet shows up. I doubt it, because Jimmy's lazy and a coward, so we'll see. All right, I dream of a day where I'm on a debate stage with it's me, Dinesh D'Souza, Jimmy Dore, Glenn Beck, and Russell Brand, and their only job is to take me down. That's my goal. That would be a dream gig for me. If we can make that happen, that'd be terrific. So, anyways, all right, let's see. Here we go. Jimmy Dore to blame.
Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, who was a drunk driver, and
yeah. So that's supposed to make you feel better about the fact that he was attacked with a hammer. By the way.
And a lot of people think does insider trading. I don't know. Him and his wife became 100 millionaires while she was in Congress. You think they do insider trading? I think they do. I think.
Or it could be that they're in Silicon Valley. That's part of their district. San Francisco is an incredibly rich area, and you don't have to be very smart to figure out which ones are going to be the winners.
Not against the law or something.
I think they're big criminals, and
therefore they deserve to have their house broken into and to be attacked with hammers, because the people must rise up, I guess.
And what I said was that no way is it true that Paul Pelosi was paying for gay sex and it went bad. So I got it right.
Yep.
No, you fucking didn't. Also, it's gay sex because it's San Francisco. Is that the idea? By the way, David DePepe is straight.
This happened because I do videos criticizing the Democrats for their transparent corruption. That's why. Not because Paul Pelosi is an alcoholic druggie who got attacked by a gay sex partner. I got it.
Jesus Christ. I missed that one because I don't read his stuff. But again, let's do a complete. Let's give him 100% room where apparently that's how sex goes in Jimmy's mind.
Right. So I said that's not what happened. I got it right.
On the record, you got it right.
On the record, I got it.
Yeah, because your sarcasm fail then turns out to be legit. Well, technically, the statement is true because it wasn't that case, but you're not right because you're making a homophobic attack or an anti-gay attack on someone because you think that's how this kind of shit plays out. And also, you seem to think that there is no way a wannabe Jan Sixer would, who lives a mere couple of miles, or maybe even less than a mile, from the Pelosi household, would come over there and try to kill her.
Right. I said that's not what happened. No way is that true, I said. I got it right. I was right.
Well, I didn't say you weren't.
Okay.
I think that was supposed to dial something back, whatever. Yeah.
But then this happened. So this is a person named Lauren Rosen. Now she works for the establishment. She has ties to this.
She works for the establishment. She works for the, let's see, foreign policy alone, retweets non-endorsement, email is gay, works just security, ed board, AI monitor, Politico, foreign, okay, she's a writer at Politico, that like super left-wing stuff. Also, Jimmy cites the mainstream media all the fucking time.
CIA and the FBI and the national security state and all that shit. And they,
yeah, she's just, she must be a mole. She's clearly, if you write about the CIA, you are CIA. What a great way to simplify your argument against someone.
feed her bullshit stories. You know, we showed you that before, how the CIA, they'll find a reporter, they'll work them, they'll give them one or two real stories, then they'll start giving them false stories.
Oh yeah, and that's never happened with Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, and Jimmy and RT, for example.
And then they never know which one is which, and so
yes, it's basically the Jimmy Dore show.
They're just doing CIA. So that's who she is. That's who Lauren Rosen is, and she says she's reporting on Washington and foreign policy. Just Security Ed Board. I don't even know what that is. She worked at a place called.
Well, don't look it up. I mean, you just accuse her of being a shill for the CIA and a propagandist, but don't bother to look her up before, because that's what being a progressive is about. True, like even-handedness and open-mindedness and honest exchange.
L Monitor, Politico, foreign policy alum, retweet. So, but there's not much known about her, right? But she does.
Yes, she's a mystery. I don't know where we would even start finding out about someone that has 176,000 Twitter followers that you could actually look back through their entire body of work, see whether she writes at Substack or what paper she writes for. She's on Politico. She's a mystery. Honest to God. Basically, we'll pull off her mask and it'll be old Mr. Witherspoon, the owner of the haunted amusement park.
Have almost 177,000 followers.
Really?
So now, are those real? I'm going to guess that the algorithm and the intelligence manipulated Twitter puffs her up.
Yeah, I mean, why not? While you're calling her a CIA propagandist that you haven't bothered to look up, just assume everybody that follows her is a bot. All yours are real, I have no doubt.
Because she does their bidding. Now, why do I... Really?
So what's our evidence that she does their bidding other than the fact that the words foreign policy show up in her Twitter bio?
77,000 followers. Never heard of her.
Oh, well, I mean, and Jimmy combs through the upper echelons of Twitter to make sure what the who's who. I mean, he was way ahead of me on following A+K.
No check mark?
She decided, and she doesn't have a check mark. So she decided to...
Yes, that's the part we don't... I mean, she could be anyone at this point. That's a cartoon. It could be a bot account.
To smear me. So she got an order.
Oh, she got an order to smear you. Fucko, I did it for free. Where's my paycheck? You don't have to... Asshole, you don't have to get an order. You were in the top of that dude's playlist.
From somebody in the establishment.
I don't follow Laura Rosen, but I will if she needs tips from now on what a fuckhead Jimmy Dore is. She got a tip from the establishment. Somebody went away to ego camp and came back with a new merit badge. What the fuck? Oh.
To smear me. Somebody in the Democratic Party, somebody...
Yeah, somebody... It couldn't be that she's aware of who you are and what you say, and then she went to that dude's page and you're all over the fucking thing. It couldn't possibly be that.
Who knows where?
I don't know. Why would I even... Why would I even check on the link and see if the images that she puts up there are actually there or not?
But she got an order, and it was like...
Again, okay. He's just gonna, like, I love the big conspiracy. Like, the whole derp state bullshit. Fuck off.
Like they had it ready. It was like they had it ready. So...
Had it ready? Dude, it was... All right. He hasn't even looked. He hasn't even looked. He hasn't even clicked the fucking link and looked at what this dude wrote about him.
She tweets out, suspect in attack on Paul Pelosi seems to be a fan of a seemingly...
Yeah, I wouldn't say seemingly. He's absolutely pro-Putin. She's giving you the benefit of the doubt, and you have not earned it.
Pro-Putin, pro-Assad, YouTube conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put you in the Alex Jones category where you've kind of constructed a giant conspiracy within stuff. You just pick up the clippings off the floor and go, this must be something. I mean, you just fucking, dude, you literally just drafted, holy shit. He just drafted a conspiracy about this woman he knows nothing about. He admittedly knows nothing about her. But what did he start with? She works for the CIA. She's been led around. They gave her 2 real stories, and now they're baiting her with fake shit. And she got an order from someone in the establishment Democratic Party to do a hit piece on Jimmy Dore. And he's griping about being called a conspiracy theorist. Motherfucker, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly. You literally proved her point before you even started.
So they just say this. So this is what. So
yeah, they just say. Well, they don't just say it. Obviously, she got a printout from the CIA and a check from the DNC to do it.
That's how you know this is coming
Is it
straight.
seemingly because she never watched you?
This is right because she's never watched me. Doesn't, and she's going to admit that she doesn't know anything about me.
Right.
And she links to this, right? That has all these video thumbnails of my show, except they're doctored.
Oh, oh dear. They're doctored. The conspiracy is getting bigger. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Let's see. How do they change them, Jimmy? My God. Is someone putting a YouTube logo right in the center of them? They're doctored.
What?
She links to this. Which, by the way, this is gone now, right, Craig?
No.
Gone.
So this link is gone.
Really?
Not only is this
Wait,
tweet,
I didn't know that.
Not only, by the way, this tweet got
No, it isn't.
almost 2,000 likes. I mean, so
No, it's gone.
A lie makes its way around the world before the truth gets its
We've
pants
been
on.
checking all day to see if it comes back on. By the way,
Well,
Hoping
you mean this? You mean this
yeah,
link?
I've checked like 3
So
times.
she links to this link, and it's got all these thumbnails from the Jimmy Dore show, and it also mentions something about Susan Sarandon. Craig.
No.
All right. He's worked this whole thing out, and he doesn't even know what it refers to. But they're definitely doctored. How are they doctored? How the fuck are... Wait a second. Hold on. Let's see. I gotta go look now, right? We gotta go check it out. All right. So Jimmy Dork, and we go over to his page, and let's go to here, and hold on and shut up. All right. And then to go to videos, and let's see. This can't be, it's not that long ago. Let's see. Well, here you go. Let's see what he says, and we'll see which one he says is doctored. Because, by the way, can I just say, like, here's his most recent fucking thumbnails. Biden supports Brazil's new left-wing president. Why? I don't know. Why does Trump support Bolsonaro? What the fuck are you talking about? Not a right-winger. By the way, I think this is the Pelosi attacker's home had gay pride and BLM flags. By the way, dude lived in the garage. The girl he was living with, she had those things on her front lawn. He wrote all that other shit. Those weren't his BLM signs and his flag. He was basically hanging where the dope was, essentially. $1 million. Okay, it's Jimmy's fault. This is it. Okay, so this is the image they put up. Jimmy Dore blamed for Paul Pelosi's attack. Sabotage. Proof anti-Semitism accusations against Corbyn were Labor Party lies. All right, whatever. This is when Aaron Mate was filling in, by the way. Nukes on Russia's doorstep. Obama the appeaser. Epic backpedal. You're not the boss. The days... Look at this. Why would anybody come away with pro-Putin? You're not the boss. The days of U.S. hegemony are over, says Putin. Yeah, he's totally good. No diplomacy. Is it a false flag? Dirty bomb accusations fly between Russia and Ukraine. That's Aaron Mate again. almost, and this is another one too. Is Russia poised to win the Ukraine war? Aaron Mate had Scott Ritter on, and it was just like the amount of delusion in that clip is fucking epic. Scott Ritter is literally, I'm pretty sure, the only person who isn't literally speaking directly to Russia, to Putin himself or on Russian television, that is saying Russia is winning this fucking thing. It's nuts. And he's like, yeah, totally. This is all just a rope-a-dope. Okay, this is a robust debate. Okay, Nazi heroes. Look at this. There you go. How the U.S. loved to learn to love neo-Nazis in Ukraine. No diplomacy. This is our choice. Snubbing progressives. No nukes, Liz. Woke warmongering! Exclamation point. Shameless backpedal. Oh, by the way, how Chick-fil-A restored Vince Vaughn's faith in America. No woke chicken. Where the fuck? How does anybody think this asshole calls himself left anymore? Right. So, anyways, we'll see if there's if he references why the fuck would anybody have to doctor those? And by the way, that's a big accusation. That's another big conspiratorial accusation. We will see. We must see. We've got to see what his proof is that they've done this.
No, I think there was another article from the.
Okay. No, that was a different place.
Different article. Yeah.
Okay. So she links to this. This is gone now. This whole anyway. And if you look here,
well, I mean, it is full of it's a Wix page. It's done with that Wix service. And I'm guessing once they find out that somebody has a shit ton of anti-Semitic artwork and plans to kill people and that kind of shit that might foment violence from other people, they tend to take those things down. Nothing leaves the internet forever, and you can find it if you want an archived version.
It says, so anyway, suspect of the
Jesus Christ. Read it, Jimmy. It's what he wrote underneath it.
Attack on Paul Pelosi seems to be a fan of a seemingly pro-Putin, pro-Assad YouTube conspiracy theorist named Jimmy Dore and anti-Semitic.
Yeah, the guy is anti-Semitic. Not you, Jimmy. We understand you have reading issues. You went to the Dan Bongholio School of Reading Comprehension. The anti-Semitic part. Now, granted, I can understand why you're touchy about that. I can understand why you get nervous when people point the anti-Semitic hose at you, because you do have this weird thing where you hate Israel for doing to Palestine what you're okay with Russia doing to Ukraine. And the only thing that's really different between the Russians and the Israelis is that the Israelis are largely Jews.
So now she writes that in a way that says I'm anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. You're a fucking moron. Seems to be a fan of seemingly pro-Putin and anti-Semitic. The suspect is the subject of the sentence. These are descriptives. Jesus Christ. And again, we understand why he gets touchy about this. I mean, you gotta, he's get gotta bristle. You're right. You're so not. Because, yeah.
Why would she say that? She says
it because the suspect is fucking anti-Semitic. He hates Jewish people. He posts, I'm sorry to disappoint your ego, Jimmy, but he posts more about how Jews are to blame for the world than he uses your clips. I could only find in my cursory stream of stuff when I was initially looking at this stuff, the 3 clips of yours. I was shocked there were no Russell Brands, considering how much Fauci and election shit he had on there. But we'll save that for another day. Maybe he just can't bring himself to hate Bill Gates because he's not Jewish or something. Maybe that's why the guy was shying away from that. But most of the dude's posts were either pictures of gnomes that he obviously posted when he was on mushrooms or LSD or something, and Jimmy videos and cartoons from the 1930s, cartoon imagery from the 1930s, making Jewish people look like monsters. That was the majority of the shit on that guy's site. And he doesn't even debate it. His own daughter has said that site is real. He's been writing that shit for a while.
One of his recent posts. Now, she's referring to the guy who attacked Paul Pelosi.
Yes, we know. We understand sentence structure.
One of his recent posts says the war in Ukraine will make it easier for the Jews to buy up land. But that is a...
He also says it next to one of your videos. And is this where he's going to say it's doctored? Is this is going to be his evidence that it's doctored? Motherfucker. Really?
Doctored. So right here, that's where it says. It's...
Oh, fuck you. Click on the picture, you asshole. What the fuck? Click on the whole picture. It's a freeze frame of the post. He cites your video, and then he writes a little blog addendum. And if you don't subscribe to it, you can only see the first couple of sentences to kind of tease you into subscribing to this guy's anti-Jewish screed. And he puts that underneath that. If you click on it, it literally says David DePape, October fucking 19th, or whenever his last post was. Fucking hell.
Says Ukrainians die needlessly, the cheaper the land will be for Jews to buy up. That's what it's...
Oh, wow, man. They totally... Kurt, man, is on it, bro. Oh, they fucking mess with your shit. How did they get away with that? Is that like, do they have like a CIA program that does that from like DARPA? Click on the fucking link, fucko. And by the way, he can't show the picture. You know why? Because he's put up a picture of the tweet to intentionally not include the stills that are in it. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. All right, so we go to Twitter and we find, and thank you, Jimmy, for introducing us to L. Rosen, the @ L. Rosen. And there she goes. Blaming the West for, okay, like she's got a few of these. She's on it. Okay, where's the most recent one? Here, we'll get this guy. So here's her site. I'm going to scroll down, see if I can find the exact one. 28th of October. Okay. And she's busy, so it'll take a second. Let me scroll back through. Covers a lot of shit. Covering Iran, covering stuff from the, let's see. The attack on, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is probably why Jimmy's mad, because she's got the DA, San Francisco DA, blowing holes.
Say now this was obviously politically motivated?
Yes, it appears as though this was based on his statements and comments that were made in that house during his encounter with Mr. Pelosi, that this was politically motivated.
The evidence suggests he would go as far to say it was an assassination attempt.
What I will say is that he was looking for the speaker at the time that he entered the home. Of course, the federal affidavit contains a bit more information about other things that motivations that he's expressed, but he certainly did enact what we believe is an attempt to murder her husband at the time that the police arrived.
Yeah, that's what I would call hitting someone on the top of the head with a hammer when they're 82 and you ain't. Okay, so let's see if we can scroll down through her stuff. Again, a lot of stuff about the Iranian uprising, which strangely enough, Jimmy would supposedly be for, I think. So that's good. Okay, let's see. Turn to thread of the right-wing ecosystem that created the Paul Pelosi conspiracy theory. Hey, and Jimmy's in there, I'm sure. He doesn't think he's right-wing. He's under the delusion that he isn't. Let's see. Okay, so what date is this? 31st. We're going to keep on scrolling. Got to keep on pushing, keep on scrolling. Yeah, so, and she talks about how Musk put that stupid fucking tweet up about there's much more to this than meets the eye, when there fucking well isn't. But anyways, and by the way, Glenn Beck will guide us through all the details. By the way, is it odd at all to anybody else that Jimmy never plays anything from Russian Media Monitor? I mean, that I've seen. It might not be fair. Maybe he does all the time, you know. Maybe just his kink is being wrong, so he watches it before the show and then counteracts. What's in there? Okay. Da-da-da. Here we go. Getting 29th. She's got some music in there. Who's this? Coldplay. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, here we go. Performing in, I don't know. There you go. The 27th, 28th. Hold on. That guy's 27th. So she's still on it. So hold on. Breaking news. There's the guy. Thread. Malinowski. Former what was this? TYT personality turned conspiracy monger, nasty piece of business. Maybe she's replying to this one particular one. Oh, yeah, right. Tweet was deleted by the tweet author. There you go. I didn't delete mine. 28th. She's busy. Oh, my gosh. Is that a hippo eating a pumpkin? Despite all my rage, I'm still just a... Oh, God. All right. There's this guy. Come on. Where are you? This woman works on Twitter. This is her gig. Oh, yeah, here we go. Seems to be pro-Trump, implores, da-da-da. Yeah, so there's the gas chamber doors. There's the Tulsi picture. Yeah, I went through a bunch of this shit, too. Some posts refer to the red pill. Is that QAnon? Yes, it is. There's the the blacks and the Jews, where Jews are really the real blacks, like that kind of shit. And then, hey, there we go. Some post of another some post has another pro-Putin propagandistic Jimmy Dore video blaming the West for Russia's Ukraine, right? Yeah, this is what mostly is on this guy's site, this stuff. That's why she put anti-Semitic in the post about that fucking dude. Because he is, like, incredibly, like, overtly, grossly, creepily. All right, where are we? Seriously, I'm very impressed at how much she tweets. I don't even see it. So did he shape another one? Hold on one second. All right. Suspect in attack on Paul. Okay, maybe it's earlier. October 27th. I'm not drunk. That's 28th. Yep, that's 28th. Maybe I'm just scrolling too fast. Or maybe it just doesn't come up with all the pictures in the thing. I'm going to find this fucking thing. Hang in. Because if we find out that Jimmy, like, cut together this image from two different things, like a prick. Let's see. So, allegedly attacked Paul Pelosi this morning, will be charged. There he is. So as soon as they announce it, dude is, starts yelling, all the stuff about him saying, "Where's Nancy?" Screenshot of him. There we go. 28 suspect in there. Kanye West. Some posts with red pill QAnon. Snapshot of our person seems to be pro-Trump, implores Trump to act. Poster with Tulsi. Yeah, I pointed that out. Hold on. Interesting fact. Okay, photo of suspect. If anyone has access to the piece, what we know about him. There you go. Friends of friends, Robert reference has a domain registered this year to David DePape, according to Vice.com. Okay, in scrolling, I can't find this tweet itself, so I don't know if he cut and pasted or what.
It says right there.
Can you believe that?
The cheaper. So she tweets this.
Look at the miserable liberal jumping in, going, "Do you believe that?" And Jimmy's like, anyways.
Out as if I put that headline.
No, she didn't, you dumb motherfucker. You are pointing to it, and you've taken a picture of a picture of a picture to lay that on her. Because this creep, and let's see. I wish I could transfer. I took a whole picture of the, hold on, maybe I will be able to do this. Give me 1 second. This is going to get good. Hold on. You guys, give me a second. It's a thing, and I took a big, long picture of some shit. Let's see, was it in... Where would it be? Oh, it's on my... Is it on the desktop? Frickin' duck. Let's see. I think it's on my iPad. Fuck. Anyways, I'm gonna get it anyways. Hang on. Now, let's see if I can... Yeah, here you go. So, let's see, download that. So, let's see if this guy... Okay, so, here's what... hold on. I know what I'm going to do. Give me a second. I'm going to send this to the screen so you guys can see every detail, because I'm not going to be guilty of the same shit he pulls off. So, give me a second. Send this to an email that I have on here. GD, turn, send. Okay, let me show you, if he bothered to click on this fucking thing, what it would look like. Let's go here to another thing. Go to Gmail. I just do the work, man. Send it. Send the email. Send her my love, memories remain. Send her my love, roses never fade. Send her my love. All right, I'm just singing while I wait, okay? Just deal. Yeah, it's on Hunter's laptop, totally. Let's see, maybe it has to send and then send again. Hold on, let's see. Recycle, get that email out there, send it out. Hold on, I'm gonna try again and it'll show up like 5 times. Files, there we go. Take this guy, send it, email. Let's see. Come on, send, you son of a bitch. It's going to aggravate me now. It's going. Don't worry. HAL Sparks, you should participate with the hashtag. That's a good idea. I'm still waiting to see a picture of Hunter's laptop. Doesn't exist. Sorry. And then, let me see if there's another picture of here. See if I can, because I pulled one of those things where... Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So. Shit. All right. Anyways, I'll just do it on here so you guys can see real quick. We'll see if it'll be clear enough. And if not, we'll wait till it comes up. So, I'm going to show you this right now. This is, I'm going to turn it this way. So this is what the post looks like on the site. So there's the picture of Jimmy. It's thumbnail and all. The reason it doesn't show the actual image is because I get, like, as soon as you roll over it, it starts playing automatically on that site. And then right there, it says Ukrainian cannon fodder. And it has that line about the Jews. And above it, it's got, and I cut my finger. Yes, I did. I sliced it open. It's a long story. Anyways, right over there, see that right there? It says David DePaul. You can't see it. How long ago? 3 days ago. He wrote this 3 days before the attack. And it says, right here, the more Ukrainians needlessly die needlessly, the cheaper the land will be for the Jews to buy up. 3 days ago, there's his name, David DePape. That's his site. Okay, so the site's registered in his name. Vice ran it down. Wired has looked at it too. The whole site is archived. And underneath it, by the way, the bottom part of it, the title shows up under it in another version of it. If you squeeze the page down, this part of the page goes underneath the image. So Jimmy is showing a picture of a picture and not even clicking on the full fucking thing, because if he does, it will say David DePape 3 days ago post references to him. Jimmy is trying to gaslight his audience live, if they're that fucking dumb. So, I mean, obviously Kurt's falling for it, but that's low-hanging fruit. But he's trying to make it look like Laura Rosen intentionally put those words under that image to make him look anti-Semitic, and she wrote it on purpose that way.
In there. Of course I didn't put that headline in there.
Nobody thinks you fucking did, dummy. He took what you said and went, I know what he means. Just like this fucking guy did. This is Gavin Long. Gavin Long assassinated 3 cops in Baton Rouge and left another one brain damaged for life. Guy's in a wheelchair, breathes through a tube because of Jimmy Dore. That guy was, you notice that the hat? Yeah, that's a shot from, by the way, a citizen journalist video that he did for TYT. Gavin Long murdered 3 cops and wounded another, trying to kill him, because of what he was getting from what Jimmy Dore was saying specifically on there. And it was, you know, that's a long, like, you can dive down the Gavin Long hole. Jimmy has that on him. They all avoid it. The TYT put a copyright strike on all of Gavin Long's videos so that they wouldn't stay up. Yeah. This is not a new thing. People taking Jimmy's words and being deadly about it is not brand new. And so Jimmy kind of has, I guess, some practice, playing dumb about this shit.
Wow.
Do you think
Wow. That's so great how you can do that, Jimmy, where you could just not make sure you can't click on the image to see that that's not what she's writing at all. That is literally a screen grab.
Do you think that YouTube would put that up? Do you think YouTube would put that up? You don't think that my channel is highly scrutinized? Of course it is.
Yes, of course. The deep state who gives her marching orders also scrutinizes your website. Nobody gives a fuck, Jimmy. Also, again, you need to know, I need you guys to look through the lens that, that in theory, when he saw this tweet, when it happened, if he indeed saw it himself, or if that guy Craig didn't send it to him in clipped form so he can play stupid, that there is no way you can look at that, click on the actual images associated with that tweet, and come away with, she typed that in to make you look bad on purpose, as if you had written it. Yeah, it's a total Mike Pillow.
Wait,
So she made this up. So she put this up
No, she fucking well didn't. Please tell me she wrote it. Holy shit.
as if I put that headline, and she's smearing me as an anti-Semite and a conspiracy theorist. They'll never say what conspiracy I have.
I'll tell you one. The idea that she, because she reports on this stuff, is a CIA shill who gets orders from the Democrats who are paying her to lie about you instead of just looking up shit and reporting on it, and that she does it in league with, I guess, YouTube somehow.
They might say Seth Rich,
really?
which wasn't a conspiracy. All we did was cover the story.
No. You asserted what happened and pretended that it was basically settled as the conspiracy rolled out. Like you believed it as it came out as a conspiracy, and then since then you push back on anybody who goes, nope, it's not what happened at all, and stop torturing his fucking family.
We just covered it. So just like this story,
Well, yeah, you just covered it. He just covered it. Like Alex Jones just covered Sandy Hook.
they have to try to find something to so the establishment, the government, whoever this is, that's
Yeah, it's probably, who is it? It's got to be the Pentaveret. It's got to be whoever it is. Whoever it is, motherfucker. You know who it is? It's David DePape. The dude who cited you on his site. Who went, Jimmy Dore is a fellow traveler.
paying her. They want to discredit me, right? Just like they want to discredit the gray zone, just like they want to discredit Julian Assange.
No. That they do plenty of that work themselves. And by the way, notice how he lumps himself in with the gray zone and Julian Assange.
Not that I'm like
As fucking if. Oh,
those people,
not that I'm like those people, but I am, really, if you think about it.
but I do have a powerful platform now. And
It's true. It's a very powerful platform. How would bots even know how to respond if they didn't get their marching orders from the Kremlin money that flows through? Oh, dear God, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. I haven't really looked up Jimmy Dore at all. I don't know much about him.
so they want to silence, they want to neutralize me. And
They want to neutralize me. Yeah, they're sending a CIA hit squad after you. Nobody gives a fuck.
so that's what they do. They call you a conspiracy theorist. And that's why Dave Weigel
By the way, that's what they do. Who are they? No one knows who is them. Only they know who is them.
in the Washington Post put me in that Seth Rich article, which was bullshit because he was given an order by his handler at the Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, or whoever the CIA guy is who's in their newsroom.
Like, dude, if you're not trying to be, you can't say I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And literally everything goes back to Jeff Bezos now has a CIA handler. What the ever-loving fuck? If Russell Brand is trying to be hippie Alex Jones, is Jimmy trying to be like fired sitcom neighbor Alex Jones?
To slander Jimmy Dore and to get him tarnished with.
Well, he's talking about himself in the third person. If I ever go, and this is how Hal Sparks is looked at, by the way, they Hal Sparks things, because Hal Sparks is they're going after Hal Sparks because that's what Hal Sparks. If I ever start doing that with any sincerity, go away. Please shut this down. My ego has run amok. I need fewer viewers. I am sniffing my own farts and losing my mind. Jesus Christ. Fucking talking about yourself in the third person like you're a fucking running back.
This conspiracy theorist thing, I did one video on Seth Rich. One. They act like I was doing.
Also, by the way, notice how he picks the Seth Rich thing in the one video and the related article as if that's the only reason why somebody might think he's a conspiracy theorist after he's done all this shit about like Fauci and gain of function and the vaccines don't work and blah, blah, blah. And this motherfucker, yeah, but that one thing, it was that one video.
Weeks and weeks of videos like Sean Hannity was. I did one video. I covered the story. You know why? Because it's an open murder investigation.
Yeah, that's what Jimmy does. It's basically the Jimmy Dore Show is a true crime podcast at its base.
And when was the last time you weren't allowed?
I will, Angie. I will bottle the farts. I will because I really, yeah. That's where the money is, obviously.
Allowed to ask questions about an open murder investigation
because it's called nuance, Jimmy.
Can anybody else name one other murder investigation you're not allowed to ask questions about? This was the only one.
Dude, nobody's against asking questions. These leading questions, these push-pull bullshit questions like, I mean, don't you think it had to be Hillary who's choked him to death and then shot him? Like, that's the kind of questioning level.
In the history of the world.
Also, motherfucker, what the fuck does that have to do with this? Stay on topic.
So, and all I did was cover it with one thing. So that's what they're going to do.
Yes, by the way, he is literally described 3 conspiracies against him personally since the beginning of this video. 2 of which involve her, 1 of which involves Jeff Bezos. And to call him a conspiracy theorist, it just crosses the line.
So she just says this stuff.
Yeah, no, she doesn't, Jimmy. She doesn't just say this stuff. She is paid by a CIA handler who works for the DNC. Keep it straight. By the way, this is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. I go through these whole fucking clips. This is 15 minutes. I'm sorry this is as long as it is. This is what he posted. This is what he thinks locks down this conversation. This is where Jimmy Dore looks at this and goes, I got this. If you want to see what Jimmy Dore is all about in his Jimmy Doreness, then watch Jimmy Dore on the Jimmy Dore Show, where other people write jokes and he goes, ha, and claims them as his own.
She just says this stuff. She knows it's not true.
No, she does not. You are absolutely pro-Putin. You are clearly pro-Assad. You made up 3 conspiracies right now. And I'll tell you what, she's not calling you anti-Semitic. I will. There's something fucked up about how supposedly what's being done to you, the Palestinians, is wrong because Israel's doing it, but if the Russians do it to the Ukrainians, fuck them. That's weird. That means you don't really care about the Palestinians. Your thing is about one group is in the wrong in that situation.
She's being paid to do it.
Which is, not a conspiracy theory. Okay? Okay? I don't know. She's being paid by God knows who, somebody at the CIA, to call me a conspiracy theorist. Jesus Christ.
Somebody in the government or the establishment Democrat.
I mean, he can't stop. He fucking can't stop.
Democratic Party. This is them trying to take me down.
They're trying to take me down by calling me a conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's wearing a hospital gown. He's worn that shirt before. We've seen it before. It's hot in the studio. Usually he wears long sleeve shirts with French cuffs, and I don't know why. Because he's fancy. I'm sorry. This is just fucking ridiculous. It's like the ego. Sorry. Okay.
This is how they do it. And then they put this up. By the way, this website's gone. And as far as
you know what this is? I just looked at
what?
So that the guy who attacked Pelosi, he wrote that.
He wrote that.
There. And then
she put it up as if I wrote that.
Yeah, right.
No, she fucking well didn't. She took a screen cap of his post, which includes your video and what he took from it, which is the Jews want all the land in Ukraine, and therefore that's why they put a Jew in charge and sent neo-Nazis out to do their work for them because the Jews ran both sides of World War II storyline.
That's what she's doing.
No, she fucking isn't. She is not. She is showing that guy's posts. All right. I don't know how many times I can say this. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And then she admits, so he retweets as Jimmy Dore fan. So that's he's an establishment shill.
Yeah, he must be. What's he getting paid? By the way, where's my fucking check?
He writes PR for Jeff Bezos' wife. I'm not kidding. So that's what he does. That's what that guy does. He writes PR for Jeff Bezos' wife. Go to his Substack. That's what he does.
His ex-wife, not the current wife.
Yeah. Jeff
so
Bezos
he's not that successful with PR.
Yeah. So Laura Rosen responds, "Hey, I'm not super familiar with him. What is his deal?"
Jeez, it's almost like you guys are cut from the same cloth. She didn't look you up. I'd be glad to bring her up to speed.
But you'll just do all that shit. You'll say all that shit. You'll post all this stuff. And then by the way, so what I said was I confess. Ha! Right after I blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, engineered an attack on Pelosi's husband. Yes, I'm very powerful. I'm surprised the establishment doesn't try being nicer to me since I'm controlling most things from my garage.
Oh, I see. So that's why it's not up there. But she rewrote it so it can't be misread as such. So there's a... Where is it? Because that was the one that I saw. Hold on. She just went through and took the descriptives off. That's why it's not up there. So she reshaped it. Okay, hold on. There we go. This is the chain of stuff. Suspect ignored Trump to make Tulsi Gabbard employed. There you go. Here you go. So this is what she has up instead. Same post has another pro-Putin propagandistic Jimmy Dore video blaming the West for Russia's war on Ukraine. And then there you go, provoke Russian into attacking Ukraine. She goes through the whole thing. There you go. And see if you, let me show you something. Can I show you something? Okay, watch this. If you click on this, the pictures there, these are just the videos. Hold on one second. I gotta shrink it down. Son of a bitch. I gotta shrink this down this way. Hold on. Right. Yeah, so she just, in this case, she just cites the images. This says provoke Russia into attacking Ukraine. That was the bottom of whatever he wrote. And these are the video images, part of the video images in there. And then this is, by the way, the one where the video where Jimmy says that like Ukraine is using civilians as human shields.
You're just covering for Susan Sarandon is my theory.
So here they took it down. So then she takes.
Mine's still up. Show mine.
So
maybe he does. We'll see.
So not only is this link gone, this link is gone.
Well, because she retweeted the images.
So you'll say all this shit about someone in the most. It's like, why don't you just call me a rapist and then say, but I don't really know anything about him.
Dude, you just said all that shit about her, and literally said you don't really know anything about her.
I think he's the worst things in the world, but I don't know anything about him.
That's
what?
Standard.
So you just do that with 177,000 followers? You don't know anything about him? You call yourself a reporter? Of course she's not. What
of course she's not. She's a CIA shill, right?
Is a tool of the establishment.
Right. And that's not a conspiracy. He has receipts, which he will show us next.
And that's who's paying her to do this.
All right. Again, dude, I'm going to need a pay stub.
This was locked and loaded in the chamber.
How is it locked and loaded in the chamber unless they... So that's... Oh, by the way, that would be a conspiracy theory in that they already knew this guy was going to attack. They gave her the information ahead of time, and they're like, not only are we going to set this assassin loose like a Manchurian candidate to murder somebody because we've used MK Ultra to drive this man to attack someone, but we're also going to use it to frame Jimmy Dore. Fucking hell.
And then so they deleted this. This is no longer there.
Hold on one second. Hold on. David. Let's see. Hold on. I've got to turn this on website. Let's see. This is going on. Let's see if they. That's the Department of Justice. Okay, sorry. Let me go back here. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, the woman. Here you go. Hold on. So they, so this page is down because it's full of anti-Semitic hate speech and fellow travelers were rushing to grab it. But here's the Washington Post article, which of course is written by the CIA through an AI or something like that. Let's see. What he presented as a 2021 entity told her to struggle with the domain Friendly Friends was registered August 8th under DePape's name to an address in Richmond, California, where a neighbor told a Post reporter he lived. The web address uses the phonetic spelling of friend, which has become a slang term adopted by many in the far right, a term that is sometimes written as an acronym for far right ethno-nationalist. Friendly Friend. Reddit banned an openly anti-Semitic group named Friend World in 2019, saying it contained postings that glorified or encouraged violence. 2 weeks after registering the site, DePape's first post was titled Mary Poppins, amidst an ongoing feud with Ron DeSantis and Disney over the Don't Say Gay bill. The violent video depicted a SWAT team firing at Mary Poppins. Let's see, details of his life, 6 posts in support of Jordan Peterson. Filed a motion former compelled to probably blog. No evidence of election fraud. Any journalist saying that should be dragged straight out in the street and shot. Big lefty.
And then she deleted her tweets about me.
No. She reframed it and she put 2 of the images up that are over there. The bigger blog picture. She left that up.
And
mine are still up, by the way. I have a blue check mark. And mine are still up.
When a journalist deletes their tweet and it's an important, serious tweet, like slandering someone with 1 million subscribers, which is a big deal.
If Jimmy does say so himself, Jimmy has 1 million subscribers. Did he tell you that Jimmy Dore has 1 million subscribers? By the way, like and subscribe.
They will explain, previously I deleted this tweet and here's why. There's no explanation of why she deleted this tweet.
Why is that?
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Go look at mine because I basically say the same thing. It's still up.
So Lauren Rosen.
You know where she's from, right? I told you on the thing, journalist, that thing.
Kurt's not only writing jokes, he's now doing his homework for him.
I forgot. So, let me just say that I roundly condemn the act of beating Paul Pelosi with a hammer in your underwear, or even fully clothed. Don't beat.
Also, that's the idea that the guy was in his underwear at the time. He was not. Paul Pelosi was asleep, and apparently in a shirt and underwear, because that's how he sleeps, when the guy broke into his house. David DePape was fully clothed.
Anyone with a hammer.
Musk also deleted his tweet. That's a good point, Victoria. Musk deleted his tweet and didn't say anything either. Basically, the tweet that alludes to all this bullshit that Jimmy is dropping.
It's always been the policy here at the Jimmy Dore program.
I've always respected that about this program.
That's always been our policy.
No, it has not.
You don't beat anyone with a hammer. By the way, you might not remember Laura Rosen, but she was a member of this thing called Journalist. Do you remember that, Craig? Do you remember what that was? That was and
I love how he's reading this because Kurt looked it up for him, and now he's reminding us all of what's in it. Glenn Beck, I'm sorry, someone is coming for your throne. As king of shit, I just found out that I'm going to lord over you that I've known for a long time.
That was like a listserv thing. It was 400 journalists, progressive socialist journalists, academics, new media activists who engaged in unofficial campaigning. They were on they were on like a list that the White House curated, right?
So Obama staffers are there. And
Obama staffers had this journal list.
Yeah,
and then they were in communication with them. What they really were doing was PR for Barack Obama.
That reads like a
What does it read like, Kurt? Why does he cut you off, Kurt? Why does he do it? You were gonna give one of the great Kurt Metzger analogies, and Jimmy stepped on it again. Wow.
So if you're wondering why her tweet reads like a desperate, dirty campaign tactic,
Oh, now he's reading Kurt's joke. Shit. Because it's the Jimmy Dore show.
because the midterms are going to suck for Democrats,
Yeah, right.
that's why. Because she did PR for politicians. When she was on that journal list thing, and now she's still doing it. That's what she's not.
Wait. So the new theory is that she wrote a Jimmy Dore sucks piece to run interference for the Democrats losing during the midterms, which they're not going to. And so she's decided that the best way to do that is attack someone who allegedly calls themselves progressive. Why would that be? Oh, because Jimmy Dore's entire methodology is based on the same thing TYT is, which is stop Democrats from voting.
Not a real journalist, okay? She's there to plant stories.
Which is not a conspiracy theorist. Please don't accuse Jimmy Dore of Jimmy Doring another conspiracy.
Do you know
And
why,
that's what she does.
Because the guy's so not MAGA right wing. So what's the next cool thing to say he's right when he's not right wing? The crazy guy is to do.
He's super fucking right wing, dumb fuck. He wants Trump to win again. He thinks the key to doing that is Tulsi joining him now that she's left the Democratic Party. He believes the election was stolen from Trump. He's right wing. He's MAGA. What the fuck? By the way, Jimmy didn't do any of the reading. Kurt didn't do any of the reading. This is hilarious.
Do you like
To do me.
He's dirty left, right? You know.
So Eddie,
Yeah, because Jimmy, you're like the leftiest lefty in the whole lefty thing. You're like so left, you're right. You know what I mean?
so it's still anybody who's criticizing the establishment, whether it's from the right or the left, they're all crazy.
That's what it is. You can't criticize the establishment. They go after you for doing that, even though that's what happens on the news all day, every fucking day.
They don't have the nuance to not criticize them.
Here's a great one. After this hammer attack on Pelosi's husband, the Twitter left needs to quarantine the Jimmy Dore Tulsi pro-Putin fuckers from our timelines and debates. Going to be using the block going forward.
No, you won't, socialist boomer. Shut up.
And they links to a video.
No, you won't. Socialist boomer is what he calls the guy. Just so you know, socialist boomer is a pejorative to Kurt Metzger because Kurt Metzger is right wing. Kurt Metzger views himself as a right-leaning libertarian. There is fucking nothing left about Kurt.
Video where the thumbnail says Tulsi drops hammer on baiting Hillary.
That's their name? Socialist boomer? Yeah, okay.
What? So
This is
literally
from 2019.
This, I know. So literally, that's what. Yes, this is
no.
Yeah, he knows your whole fucking catalog, dummy.
So this person says because he used the word hammer 3 years ago. Yes,
This is that I recognize that name. That's another I bet you that's a Brooklyn Dad Defiant guy. I bet you it is.
of course that is. Of course
That
those
guy's
people.
awesome.
So of course those
Yeah.
people we just exposed for being tools of the administration on social media.
When am I gonna? Oh, I'm not one. Right. I just say what I really think. Is that the reason they never come for me? I don't know. I've still got. There's 3 minutes left. Maybe he looked at my
Concluding
my
that
tweets.
Brooklyn Dad Defiant. Of course, those people are going to be doing that to us. Of course. Now, just remember, we debunk that. No way is it true that
All right. Yeah.
that Paul Pelosi was paying for gay sex and it went bad. I was the first to debunk it.
Well, but you're not seriously saying that your videos caused it.
Oh, definitely. Dude, we're fine. These people better be nicer to me, or there's going to be a lot more shit happening. These
Oh my
people
God.
better be nice to me.
Jimmy and Kurt, do you guys know that when he got arrested for driving drunk, supposedly there was a guy in the car with him too, as well?
Oh,
That's-
yes, that there was
Yeah.
there was a guy. Yeah. Oh, there. And by the way, where's the security camera? Oh, you know what? We're going to cover the story. We're going to cover it actually. So I just wanted to cover this part of it. Now we'll actually cover. Is the guy who attacked him a left winger or a right winger? Or Does it matter? The guy was mental.
Yes, it does matter. He was mental, but he was ambulatory, and he was not homeless, and he had a distinct plan, and it was based on the idea that he was going to make a political, overt, violent act. He was going to hold Paul Pelosi hostage once he got there and Nancy wasn't there. He was going to hold him hostage until she showed up, and then he was going to break her knees so that they'd have to wheel her into Congress in a wheelchair.
The guys with,
Does it
who was
matter?
diagnosed with several severe mental problems.
Several.
Well, when you guys go over the story, I'm sure you're going to go over the fact that, well, I'll let you guys go over it because there's a lot of
Yeah.
funny things. If he was mental
By the way, I think Glenn Beck goes through those things. We'll go through those
or
things.
not, I still believe firmly from everything that I've seen that they knew who he was. He was there with a reason.
Sounds like
You
they
do?
knew him.
Again, how does he wrap it up? Okay, he's not a conspiracy theorist, but how do they wrap this fucking video up? It sounds like he knew him. Literally, the sheriff and the DA were like, he didn't fucking know him. David DePape says he didn't know him. He was there for fucking Nancy. He wanted to kill her. Well, he was going to injure her and murder her husband.
Yeah,
But we're going to cover it. So we're going to
That's the
cover
guy
it.
who just wandered in there. It was a guy who was let in. You know.
I don't know. Just because there's lube on the hammer, I don't think that.
I can't imagine why they're upset at being called conspiracy theorists.
But anyway, the point is that this Laura Rosen is,
I do-
everything that you hate about.
Can I say for the record, I'm losing hope that he's actually going to show my tweets about him because he's a fucking coward. I mean, hey, find a woman, possibly Jewish. Don't know why that would matter, but it seems to, and make her a paid. And it's interesting that money changes hands. Shill for some deep state CIA thing to go after him, and then be surprised that David DePape attacked somebody and used Jimmy's videos as part reference.
About media.
Yeah, I don't think, he's afraid to show my stuff because it'll give me more viewers. And we'll get some of his, it's the same thing that, I mean, he watched TYT sort of take the bait, and now he's not going to do it.
Yeah. She's everything you hate about it. She's a squirrely worm who is not what she presents herself to be. She's actually planting stories for the establishment that she knows are slanted.
It's just like, again, just repeating the lie again and again based on fucking nothing.
And then she repeats, and then she deletes them and doesn't tell you why. That's
just like Elon Musk did. Nobody gives a fuck. Here's why, Jimmy. You want to know why? Because even with 1 million followers, half of which are bots, even with and it's nothing to sneeze at. He's got 500,000 true subscribers. Even with that, I mean, God knows what country they're in. But even with that kind of a number, you don't chart, dummy. You don't. And that you've got a decent number of followers who are, have a violent mindset, and it's just not a good idea for a woman to piss some of them off.
It's a real scumbag. Okay, she's a first-class scumbag, Laura Rosen, and
That's standard procedure.
By the way, if she's a first-class scumbag, what am I? Because I put my stuff up and I stand by it. I posted a bunch of those things. Fuck you, bring it. Oh, I guess because I'm a dude? Is that what it is? It's certainly not because there's a conspiracy against HAL Sparks and people will go, get HAL Sparks, the deep state counter establishment that Jimmy works for. The Kremlin money is coming for HAL Sparks by not coming for me. That's what it is. It's a conspiracy of silence That's what it is. Jesus Christ.
By the way,
That
for
is
all of
standard
them,
procedure.
yeah.
She's one of them.
Ever
That's what I
since
mean.
journalists, that's where they got.
She's one of them. Who are them? No one knows who is them. Only they know who is them.
Got
Yeah,
the right idea that
that's right.
It should be basically the same thing.
Just call her a scumbag again. You got 30 seconds. Or just dead air. Dead air's good too. I can go with dead air.
And that's not the only website to come down. You know, like I showed you that article, another 2 websites saying stuff. They put out the smears. They put out, this information.
Also, they put out the smears and this information. Neither one of these assholes are saying they're insinuating, they're inferring or allowing for the inference thereof that these sites are fake, that this guy didn't really write those things. Every time there's a school shooter, they take down their shit. It's procedure now.
Now they're taken down and scrapped.
Gee, I don't know why they wouldn't want to just keep up. Why wouldn't a website want to keep up a bunch of pictures of Jews with giant noses puppet mastering the death of children or drinking the blood of people? I don't know why you wouldn't want to keep that website up if you were a internet service provider.
It was scrapped and then taken down. It's just like that's not the only one in this particular situation. It seemed like a coordinated hit across the board.
See, in Denver...
Okay, fuck you. He's not the only one. By the way, hi, you're watching HAL SPARKS Mega Worldwide, where HAL SPARKS is the victim of a quiet silencing happening by the Kremlin, pro-Putin, pro-Assad establishment that's decided get HAL SPARKS by not getting HAL SPARKS. But you can... If you like and subscribe, patreon.com/HalSparks. Thank you, patrons, by the way, for making the show mechanically possible. And our super chats and stars on Facebook. Also, Venmo and Cash App help, me eat and stuff. Because this is the job. This is the gig. This is what I'm doing. Here I am, It's a gig. And if I've entertained or informed you in any way and you think it's worth a buck, chuck one my way. And if you don't have one, and you're like, I'd love to, but I can't, just thank the people who do, and don't worry about it, because the whole purpose of the show is to help people chill about a lot of this shit. All right. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Christmas after-school special version of Jimmy Dore, Glenn Beck, another man who's up his own ass about his own name, who literally, sprays his fucking initials all over the studio like some sort of, digital dog urinating in every corner. In case people forget who I am. They know, Glenn. They're just not impressed. But anyways, thanks. I appreciate that, guys. You guys are really sweet. Yeah, Jimmy does the lizard tongue thing, the jutting. Yes, obviously he's part of the David Icke lizard people. We know this. It's not even a conspiracy. I mean, where's the conspiracy? It's just a thing. We're just talking about it. I'm not even saying it is. I'm just reporting on the story. I do one video. What the fuck? All right. So here's Glenn Beck. This is the part. This is 4 hours ago this was posted. So this is after they've already had the indictment papers come out. This is after they've actually had the DA speak and the police officer. They've gone back to this a couple of times. This is the part that's still bugging Glenn Beck for some reason. Let's see what it is.
Okay, let me give you just some of the highlights from the affidavit, the important part of the affidavit. This is the story now from the police.
Also, okay, so at least he's citing that. Also, are his eyes glassy because he's sick again, or was he just crying?
That Paul Pelosi had a break-in at his house, and they arrested this guy named the Pepe, and he spilled his guts. He sang like a bird as soon as they read him his Miranda rights. And here's what he said. De Pepe said he pulled a hammer from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer.
No, he did not. Fuck me. Right out of the goddamn gate. Okay, hold on one second. Here it is. This is the actual warrant, including applicable statutes, facts supporting the case, and then the in a Mirandized interview, blah blah blah. DePape stated that he was going to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her. If Nancy were to tell him the truth, he would let her go. If she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps. He was certain that she would have not have told the truth, so he was planning on breaking her kneecaps. He also said she was the leader of the pack of lies. All right, so let's see how he tells it.
Striking Pelosi in the head. Now, I want to go back just
Okay, first of all, listen to this again. Listen to this.
striking Pelosi the hammer from Pelosi's hand. Here's what he said.
Here's what he said. This is Glenn Beck is saying that DePape said this.
DePape said he pulled a hammer from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer, striking Pelosi in the head. Now, I want to go back.
Okay, first of all, that's not what DePape said. That's what the cops said. He brought his own fucking hammer. Where is it? Okay, say he broke into the house through a glass door, which was a difficult task that required the use of a hammer. That's how he got in the fucking house, right there. Of a hammer, right there. See that? DePape stated that Pelosi was in bed and appeared surprised by DePape. You think? He was fucking asleep. A guy broke in to the house with a hammer and comes into the bedroom. He was surprised. DePape stated that Pelosi was in bed and appeared to be surprised, told Pelosi to wake up. He was looking for Nancy. Pelosi responded that she was not present. Pelosi asked how they could resolve the situation and what DePape wanted to do. DePape stated he wanted to tie Pelosi up so that DePape could go to sleep while he was tired from carrying a heavy backpack to the Pelosi residence. So he was going to tie up Paul Pelosi. They call Nancy Pelosi Nancy, and they call Paul Pelosi Pelosi in this situation because this is the people involved. Okay? So he could go to sleep. Around this time, according to DePape started taking out his twist ties from his pocket so he could restrain Pelosi. Pelosi moved towards another part of the house, but DePape stopped him, and together they went back into the bed. He was going to leave. Basically, Pelosi tried to leave the room, and he took the hammer and they walked back in. He's like, okay. So they come back in. While talking with each other, Pelosi went to the bathroom where Pelosi grabbed a phone and called 911. DePape stated he felt like Pelosi's action compelled him to respond. Push the door in or whatever. DePape remembered thinking there was no way the police were going to forget about the phone call. He's a fucking weirdo. DePape explained that he did not leave after Pelosi's call to 911 because, much like the American founding fathers with the British, he was fighting against tyranny without the option of surrender. DePape reiterated this sentiment elsewhere in the interview. He said it multiple fucking times. DePape stated that they went downstairs to the front door because the cops, it was less than 2 minutes. He called the cops and they're on their way. And then there was a little bit of back and forth, and he's they're at the door, the cops are at the door, and he's following him down there. And then right as he goes to open the door, the guy basically is going to swing at him. He goes right here. DePape stated, here it is. DePape stated that he pulled the hammer away from Pelosi and swung the hammer towards Pelosi. DePape explained that Pelosi's actions resulted in Pelosi taking the punishment instead. Now, if you say this, DePape stated that he pulled the hammer away from this. This is him describing the incident. The cops saw this. The cops watched it fucking happen. Here's the part. This is before this. Responded to Pelosi resident of California and knocked on the front door. When the door was open, Pelosi and DePape were both holding a hammer with one hand. DePape had his other hand holding Pelosi's forearm. Pelosi greeted the officers. Hi. A crazy person. The officers asked them what was going on. DePape responded, everything was good. Officers then asked Pelosi and DePape to drop the hammer. Pelosi stepped back, and when he let go, the dude hit him. DePape pulled the hammer from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer, striking Pelosi in the head. So he described it just as the officers saw it. Officers immediately went inside and were able to restrain DePape. While officers were restraining DePape, Pelosi appeared to be unconscious on the ground. Yeah, because he'd just been hit in the head with a fucking hammer. But let's see how you think Glenn's going to make this look like that whole exchange happened earlier than when the cops were there.
Just a little bit here, because I need you to hear what the police said at first. At 2:31 a.m., San Francisco Police Department, the officer Colby Wilms responded to the Pelosi residence, knocked on the front door. Now listen to this, because this is odd. When the door was opened, Pelosi and DePape were both holding a hammer with one hand, and DePape had his other hand holding onto Pelosi's forearm.
Yes, definitely not a firearm. Also, if you'll notice, in this situation, Pelosi has two arms. One where he's holding the hammer, and DePape has the hammer itself in his hand and a hold of Pelosi's arm. The other hand is opening the fucking door. Points Pelosi.
Pelosi greeted the officers. No, wait a minute. Hang on a second.
Look, that's just their phrase for it. He didn't go, "Hi, how's it going?" We're good.
First of all, what do you mean the door was opened? Who opened the door? Was Stretch Armstrong there? What happened?
How big's the living room? You're making shit up, Glenn. How big? They're right. He walked him towards the cops are here. You don't want to do this. Da, 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 da. Like he was yapping with them the whole time. The dude was nuts. He was like, "You don't want to hurt me. I don't want to hurt you." Da, 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 hi, help. And then bang, right? That's what happened. This all happened in like 2.5 fucking minutes.
Who opened the door?
Pelosi did.
And when they opened it.
By the way, in this one, let's see. Okay. This is, they're not even, I will say, for the record, they're not saying. It looks like when the door was opened. That said, they knocked. It was a wellness thing. They knew that there was a person, an intruder in the house, and it was possibly a home invasion. So the cops probably opened the door. More than likely. But there's also a chance that he fucking just went, open the door.
Pelosi and DePape were both holding a hammer with one hand. DePape had his other holding onto Pelosi's forearm. So we know it couldn't be DePape that opened the door. And again, unless Pelosi is Stretch Armstrong, who opened?
Again, why? What the fuck? The front door opens onto the living room. This place is not that big.
Opened the door. Pelosi greeted the officers. "Hey, how are you guys doing?" The officers asked what.
By the way, he did not say that. He just said, "I'm Paul Pelosi." That's probably what they meant by greeted.
What was going on?
That will come out in trial.
DePape responded that everything was good. Officers then asked Pelosi and DePape to drop the hammer. Here's the affidavit now. DePape pulled a hammer from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer, striking Pelosi in the head. Officers immediately went inside and were able to restrain DePape. While the officers were restraining DePape, Pelosi appeared to be unconscious on the ground. Officers removed a cell phone, cash, clipper cards, and an unidentified card from DePape's right shorts pocket. So he wasn't in underpants. He was in shorts.
Right. And by the way, I guess Stu dropped that joke a bunch of times. So did Jimmy Dore.
DePape provided officers his first.
I think the Clipper card is like a Metro Pass. Is that what it is? Or it might be an EBT card.
And last name. After officers asked DePape if he had ID on him, DePape said, "Yeah, it might be in my backpack on the back porch." He later stated, "My backpack's near the broken glass, dudes." When officers were.
Yeah, that's not how he said it. He just told them that's where it was. And let's be abundantly clear what's happening here. A violent physical assault has happened during a home invasion. And Glenn is inserting artificial dialogue in his reading of this and the assumption, I suppose, from his listeners is that because he's making a voice that it's not really on the paper. And yet there's no indication that he's saying this in the same way that, like, Dinesh D'Souza's 2,000 Mules uses that filmed footage of the guy in the backpack putting stuff in the ballot box, which is a fake ballot box, and the guy's an actor, but he doesn't put recreation or reenactment or any of that shit on there because there's no real word for when it's fucking fiction. So
Moved to Pepe from Pelosi's residence. Police body-worn camera footage showed a glass door that appeared to be laminated glass broken near the door handle. San Francisco Police Department uncovered zip ties in the Pelosi bedroom and also in the hallway near the front door of the Pelosi residence. In addition,
what, Glenn, what are you looking around for? Your zip ties? Did I drop my zip ties? It makes me think.
Law enforcement searched Pepe's backpack at the Pelosi residence. They found, among other things, a roll of tape, white rope, one hammer, one pair of rubber and cloth gloves, and a journal. So there were 2 hammers, but one was in the backpack. Witness statements. San Francisco police officer Colby Wilms was able...
Again, for the record, he's just reading this directly from the affidavit, the charging document. None of this is fucking weird for a home invasion. Like, this is how they read.
to interview.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's see. 1 second. Let's see. They're all Let me go. Here's a 2 suspects charged in Kirkland home invasion. This is basically the breakdown of, this is just a random one. This is November 1st. This is today. Prosecutors allege 2 men broke into a Kirkland home and robbed a woman at gunpoint, where 1 suspect sexually assaulted the victim. King County prosecutors in Kirkland, Washington filed 3 felony charges Monday alleging 2 men broke into a Kirkland home while a family was sleeping, robbed a woman at gunpoint. Court filings allege one of the suspects stayed behind after the robbery and sexually assaulted the victim. These crimes were especially brazen and brutal. The defendants entered the victim's home in the middle of the night, each pressing a gun against her body, one against her head, one against her chest. The victim feared she would surely be killed, but was most concerned about her family members who were asleep just a few rooms away in the home. In court filings, prosecutors allege Boubacar Toure and Mohamed Sissé entered a Norkirk home with handguns, found a woman sleeping on the couch around 1 a.m. on Friday. The victim told investigators they held guns to her head and chest, demanded her cell phone, debit, and credit cards, and cash. The woman told police suspects became agitated, threatened to shoot her as she attempted to unlock her phone, and she complied with their demands in fear of her and her family's lives. Eventually, Sesse left the house while Toure stayed behind and sexually assaulted the victim. The victim called 911 after the second man fled the house. Responding officers reviewed footage from cameras inside the home, which captured images of both suspects, surveillance from a neighbor's house that recorded a vehicle leaving the scene. Detectives searched for robberies and other crimes linked to the similar vehicle, helped them identify a license plate number and suspects linked to other gun-related crimes. Further investigation revealed a King County detective had earlier placed a tracking device on the suspect's car, which confirmed it had been parked nearby at the time of the crime. Within 30 minutes, Kirkland investigators said they found the vehicle parked at a SeaTac apartment complex. Detectives followed the vehicle as it traveled around Seattle and said its occupants appeared to match the suspects. Later that afternoon, as officers continued to watch the vehicle, the North Sound Metro SWAT team arrested both men and impounded the car. Now, this happens while the woman is asleep. Nobody else in her family is aware that any of that thing happened. If that woman was a sitting member of Congress, then the story we would be hearing from Glenn Beck is How'd the rest of the family not know this was going on? What was the heck with, how is everything happening so silently? Sure, how do we know they had, how many guns were they? Was one of the guns hers? Why was she making phone calls? Like, this is how criminal indictments and charging documents initially sound. All the details come out at fucking trial.
A witness, witness 1, who saw an individual all in black carrying a large black bag on his back walking near the Pelosi residence where witness 1 was parked. Okay, so hang on just a second. So if he was all dressed in black, did he put blackface on his legs? Because we just found out he was wearing shorts. Okay.
Well, you could be dressed in black and have your very white skin showing.
Yeah, it would be weird.
That's what we're doing today.
Yeah, witness number 1 was
Also, the idea that he's wearing black shorts and a black hoodie and carrying a black backpack. What the fuck? Also, it's nighttime. It's fucking 2:00 in the morning.
working private security and at an address nearby. Witness 1 then heard what he sounded like a banging on either the door or a car and heard
Yeah, which is what you do when you're a gay male prostitute and you've been paid an extra $500 to break in, because that really is exciting.
sirens within a minute or two. Pelosi was interviewed by the police
Right. The whole thing took 2.5 fucking minutes from the break-in.
officer,
Fuck you.
Adrian Stark in the ambulance during the transport San Francisco General Hospital. Pelosi stated he had never seen DePape before. Pelosi was asleep when he came into his bedroom and stated he wanted to talk to Nancy. When Pelosi told him that Nancy was not there, he said, well, he just sit and wait. When he then said, Nancy's not going to be home for several days, DePape reiterated he would wait. Pelosi was then able to go into the bathroom, in which he was able to call 911. He stated,
Right. He tried to go out of the room. No, you skipped a part, fucko. He tried to leave the room. He tried to go out the bedroom door. DePape stopped him. So he went into the bathroom and shut the door, and he'd taken a phone, or he'd called from inside there, or they had a fucking panic room phone or some shit. The question about whether it was a cell phone or not was the part that's floated about this. But he made the phone call inside there, and at that point, DePape could hear him making the fucking call.
when the officers arrived, that was when DePape struck him with a hammer.
Right. Struck him with a hammer because he believes Nancy Pelosi is evil and that he needs to break her knees so that there's a warning to other members of Congress on the left specifically, because people like you, Glenn, have been calling her evil for a long fucking time.
In subsequent interview with law enforcement officers, he said that the hammer did not belong to the Pelosi family. In a Mirandized and recorded interview by the San Francisco police,
By the way, if you notice, Glenn is vacillating between reading articles about this and the actual charging document. So he is either just reading the parts from the charging document that are in some article, which he is not citing, or he is mixing and matching both sources, which is fucking nuts.
DePape stated he was going to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her. If Nancy were to tell DePape the truth, he would let her go.
The truth about the 2020 election and January 6th, you know, like a member of the squad would want her to do.
Go.
Oh,
If she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps.
Okay.
DePape was certain
Stu, don't fucking react like you haven't heard this shit before.
that Nancy would not have told the truth. In the course of the interview, DePape articulated he viewed Nancy as the leader of the pack of lies told by the Democratic Party. DePape also later
Hey, you're just gonna skip right past that? Because I gotta say, Glenn, that sounds like a quote from your fucking show or your fucking book.
explained that by breaking Nancy's kneecaps, she would then have to be wheeled into Congress, which would show other members of Congress there were consequences to actions. DePape also explained generally that he wanted to use Nancy.
All right, get to the point you don't understand. What part doesn't make sense other than you making weird jokes about how far you think it is from where they were standing in the front door? If that's all there is, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
To lure another individual to DePape.
Yeah, they don't say who that is. Probably Biden or AOC or somebody else enormous who was never going to like, all right, I'll let them go if you send in Kamala Harris. And then I'm going to attack her next. Like, it's that stupid.
DePape stated that he broke into the house through the glass door, which was a difficult task and required the use of a hammer. DePape stated that Pelosi was in bed, appeared surprised by DePape. DePape
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, DePape told Pelosi to wake up. DePape told Pelosi that he was looking for Nancy. Pelosi responded she wasn't present. Pelosi asked how they could resolve the situation, and let's see, and what DePape wanted to do. He stated he wanted to tie Pelosi up so DePape could go to sleep, as he was pretty tired because he had to carry a backpack to the residence. Doesn't that seem like your average hippie? Man, I had to walk up all these hills.
Fuck you, man. If this is the hanky part, this is just like lazy and again, excusing horrible violence.
I'm sleepy. Why don't you keep...
Also, for the record, the way they phrase this, and this is like, this both bears out in what Pelosi, said in what limited interview they had with him when he was in the ambulance, I think, and DePape himself, that he was like, okay, friend, how are we going to resolve this? Because there's a fucking crazy person in your bedroom, and he's screaming for your wife. He wants to know where Nancy is. So at some point, you have to go, all right, how are we going to resolve this? Because she's not coming for a little bit. You're like, this dude, Paul Pelosi is trying to talk this motherfucker down. And does, by the way, a hell of a job.
Keep your eye out for the coppers while I take a nap.
No, he's going to tie him the fuck up. You just read that part, you shitheel.
Around this time, DePape started taking out twist ties from his pocket so he could restrain Pelosi. Pelosi moved towards another part of the house, but DePape stopped him. Together, they went back to the bedroom. While talking with each other, Pelosi went into the bathroom, where he grabbed a phone to call 911. He said, DePape said he felt like Pelosi's actions compelled him to respond. He remembered thinking there was no way police were going to forget about that phone call. DePape explained he did not leave after Pelosi's call to 911 because, much like the American
here's where we get into the area where Glenn's going to feel seen.
Founding fathers with the British, he was fighting against tyranny without an option of surrender. Okay.
Yeah, again, that sounds like something you've said right before going to break on this fucking show. We've seen this shit a dozen times.
Now, here's the interesting thing.
All right, break it down, dum-dum.
DePape stated that they went downstairs to the front door. The police arrived and knocked on the door, and Pelosi ran over to open it. Pelosi then grabbed onto DePape's hammer, which was in DePape's hand. At this point in the interview, he repeated that DePape did not plan to surrender and he would go through Pelosi. Okay, so wait, why would you go back to the hammer? Police are there. Why would you go back to the hammer?
What the fuck? He's not going back, motherfucker. Pelosi ran to the door. The police were there. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Mr. Pelosi, it's the police. Run to door. Open door. Guy comes at you. Grabbing thing. Door is open. Cops come in. I'm Paul Pelosi. This guy's in my house. Everything's fine, officers. This is that. Bang. Like, what the fuck? This all happened in like 12 seconds.
Doesn't make any sense. There's some...
No, it's not the situation that's the problem, Glenn. You're a fucking tool.
Something wrong with the door thing.
Why, Glenn? Why? Why? Because the front door of the Pelosi residence, a 2-story walk-up in San Francisco, empties into the living room at the base of the stairs. Like half the fucking houses in San Francisco.
I don't know what it is, and it might be just a error somewhere, but...
It's not an error. You're a dumbass.
Yep.
There's something wrong with...
No, there's something wrong with your perception, fucko.
that.
We should eventually know.
We should see
Because
the
there should be
video,
video, right?
We should see the video. Now, when he's
Yeah, you will.
talking about founding fathers, that's weird.
Why?
Because you remember that thing we fixed after 9/11 when people overstay their visas? You know, we kick them out right away so we know who's here because that was so important.
Oh,
that
we're
was
very concerned about
Yeah,
security.
and Department of Homeland Security, that's what they do. This guy, long time overstay. He's a Canadian. He's an illegal alien from Canada.
Right. Squatting in San Francisco, views himself as an American, isn't, does a shit ton of drugs, and he thinks he's an American. He thinks he's a right-winger. He also thinks, Glenn, that you're smart. The dude's deluded.
So he's really into our founding fathers?
Yes, he is.
This hippie that has Black Lives Matter on his house?
It's not his house. The girl he's living in the garage of, she owns that house, and she's in jail. She is. Also, wait a minute. You're telling me that Charles Manson wasn't really a hippie and that the lyrics he wrote about free love weren't completely honest?
Really?
It's an interesting profile of a person, I'll tell you that.
It sure is.
Well, most of the time, when you find somebody who would break into someone's house and threaten to torture the Speaker of the House with a hammer, they're going to have a diversity of thoughts going on in their head.
Sure is. My guess is he's crazy. But I just want to point out how good it is of the media. You know, they haven't figured out the January 6th pipe bomber. Can't find him. Don't know where he is. Don't know who he is.
She.
What? Yeah, we have video, but what are we going to do with video? I mean, it's not like we have facial recognition or anything like that. We couldn't try. He's on the phone at the time. There's no way
She.
we could triangulate
Allegedly. I'm just saying, he should be saying he or she.
and find out, you know, where he was, who he
Where she was or who she was. I mean, in all fairness.
was by just using a phone like that. Of course, we haven't found the Supreme Court leaker, a single one of Epstein's clients.
No, actually. Matter of fact, one of them just filed a lawsuit. Hold on. Let's see. I think the Daily Beast had an article about this. You got to be careful about talking in absolutes. Let's see. Was on. Hold on 1 second. We'll open this up in a second. And then. Please not. Oh. Hold on, I'm trying to find. Putin is. I'm gonna find it. God damn it! Give me a second. I'll just do a. I'll have to do a search on the site because it was earlier today. Let's see. Boink. Get out of here. Stupid picture. Search. Let's see. I'll just do it this way. 1 second, guys. Daily Beast, Epstein, whatever. That should do it. News. Yeah, there you go. Leon Black was one of Epstein's dudes, number 139. And he has filed a lawsuit against his rape accuser and accuses her of being a Russian spy. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein's billionaire pal, Apollo Global Management co-founder Leon Black, has filed another lawsuit against the former Russian model who alleges he raped her, claiming she may be a Russian spy and that she and her lawyers attempted to harm and humiliate him despite the fact that she had already allegedly collected millions in a confidentiality agreement. Yeah. So, no, we've caught Leon Black. There's a bunch of other people. Trump, obviously. There's, hold on. I'm assuming that, we know some of the people, that hung out with Epstein, bros before hoes, I guess, right? Yeah, Pepe's been a U.S. resident since 2001.
We don't know the motive of the Las Vegas shooter, but
Hold on. Also, Las Vegas shooter dead. They have got some of the Epstein folks. The bomber hasn't been caught, but this motherfucker was arrested alive in the act of striking somebody with a fucking hammer. By the way, he has pled not guilty. Here it is. Let's see. Here you go. This is the sort of the latest complicated situation. Pelosi suspect was on a suicide mission, targeted other polls, court docs. The man accused of viciously attacking House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband after breaking into her San Francisco home last week told police he was on a suicide mission, according to a new court filing obtained by the Associated Press. The 42-year-old had a... Okay, let's see what the Associated Press has here. Where's that? Man accused... Hold on. I got to blow this up now. I'm not going to read secondhand shit to my viewers, by golly and by gosh. All right, get out of here. Decline. Go away. Okay. In the court filing, prosecutors detailed the attack in stark terms as part of a bid to keep DePape behind bars. Paul Pelosi was knocked unconscious by the hammer attack and woke up in a pool of his own blood. The filing said DePape's intent could not have been clearer. He forced his way into the Pelosi home, intending to take the person third in line to the presidency of the United States hostage and seriously harm her. Thwarted by Speaker Pelosi's absence, defendant continued on his quest and would not be stopped, culminating in the near-fatal attack on Mr. Pelosi. Without being questioned, DePape told police officers and medics at the scene that he was sick of the lies coming out of Washington, D.C. The filing said, I didn't really want to hurt him, but this was a suicide mission. I'm not going to stand here and do nothing, even if it cost me my life. DePape, fucking ego of these assholes. DePape allegedly said he had other targets, including a local professor. Lucky you, whoever you are, prof. As well as several prominent state and federal politicians and members of their families. That's adorable. The filing did not name any potential targets. The case demands detention, nothing less, because they're making the case that he shouldn't get bail because he's fucking dangerous. Wearing orange jail clothing, DePape only spoke to tell Judge Diane Northway how to pronounce his last name. DePape. Okay? So no DePape, trying to make him sound Hispanic, which is what the Glenn Beck crowd are doing. The 42-year-old defendant, whose shoulder was dislocated during his arrest, is scheduled to return to court Friday. After the hearing, DePape's public defender Adam Lipson said he looks forward to providing DePape with a vigorous legal defense. Now, let me say something about the vigorous legal defense that psychopaths and other people get. And this goes to, as well as like the idea of taking a mass shooter to Burger King or whatever, which is the story that they tell about Dylan Roof, who they, by the way, they did not take to Burger King. They did not take Dylan Roof to Burger King. They got him Burger King during his interrogation. They asked him what he wanted to eat. He said something. They said, how about Burger King? And he said, yes, and they went and got it for him. If you deny a defendant food during an interrogation, get ready for the entire case to get thrown the fuck out. You want them to get him fucking a cigarette and coffee or a fucking Burger King if he asks for it. Because if his lawyer could say, they denied my client food, then the guy will walk free. You fucking morons. This whole shit, TYT does this all the time about Dylan Roof and they got him Burger King. I don't fucking care if they got him a goddamn T-bone if he kept talking. Because if you deny him food, or you deny him specific food, or you engage in something that he could later say was torture. He can't eat that, he eats this, blah, blah, blah. If you keep it easy and you're like, what can we get you? What do you need? Tell us the story. When you want something to eat, you want some coffee, whatever. If you do that, then they can't stand before a judge and go, my client was denied food and water. They tried to force him to eat meat when he's a vegetarian. They tried to force him to eat prison food when he, wanted, he was afraid of that they were going to poison him, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't fucking matter. You want him convicted, and you don't want his attorney, who's going to give a vigorous legal defense, to say they manhandled, mistreated my client, they beat the shit out of him, they maltreated him. The only reason he confessed is because they were denying him food and all that stuff. Stop giving a fuck about any of that. It drives me crazy. There are legit murderers and legit rapists who've had their convictions overturned because of alleged mistreatment during interrogations when they were absolutely guilty on all other merits. And those people would go on or even had their sentences shortened because there was doubt in the judge's mind during sentencing about it. Well, I mean, he may have said that, but he might have been, low blood sugar or something like that. So I'm not going to hold it too much against him. So I'm going to give fucking Gacy 2 years for raping a 15-year-old. And then he would go out to murder other people. Same fucking thing with Bundy. Yes, a burger is a small price to pay for cooperation. Like any asshole goes, they took him to fucking Burger King. Of course they took him to fucking Burger King. He's a kid. He just murdered a bunch of people. And instead of dragging stuff through a trial where you have him go full Bundy or like that fucker who drove his car through a bunch of people in Wisconsin, you don't want that dude like defending himself and shit-talking witnesses and people coming up there recounting what had happened to them and going, would you really expect this jury to believe that I'm the one who did this and this and this? Tell me again what I did to you. Like, basically torturing people on the stand. If you can get him to admit to it and just cop a plea and say, plead guilty or confess, and shorten the trial and put it in a situation where you don't have to bring the victims up and re-victimize them, you fucking do it. That's what this guy means with vigorous legal defense. Believe me. If this guy asks for Earl Grey tea and they give him chamomile, his vigorous legal defense is going to say they tried to poison him. And you don't want him getting out for that reason. So if somebody's innocent, then you want them to get out. You want a vigorous legal defense to prove that they didn't do it. This motherfucker did it. So he's going to try everything he can to try and avoid the full, consequences of his actions. So there we go. We're going to do a comprehensive investigation of what happened. We're going to be looking into Mr. DePap's mental state. And I'm not going to talk any further about it until I have more information. So that's the other thing, too. Complicated situation. Pelosi sent shockwaves through the thing. Midterm elections, yada, yada, yada. While Pelosi was on the phone with the 911 operator, DePap was gesturing and telling him to hang up. Pelosi then told the dispatcher that he did not need police, fire, or medical assistance, but he instead asked for the Capitol Police because they are usually at the house protecting his wife. Moments later, the dispatcher heard him interacting with a man, and Paul Pelosi said, he thinks everything's good. I've got a problem, but he thinks everything's good. That's where the guy was going. Everything's good. Tell him everything's good. Tell him everything's good. That's why he said it at the fucking door. Dude was a broken record. Let's get Manger said the attack on Pelosi's husband was an alarming reminder of the dangerous threats elected officials face. Okay, there we go.
Paul Pelosi, that midnight visitor, man, they knew he was a Republican that fast.
Dude, he was saying, where's Nancy? Who the fuck breaks into a house, a random house, attacks somebody, looking for the person who's third in line to be the president? What Democrat's going to break into that? I mean, there's some hardcore Dore fans who believe the neocon storyline hook, line, and sinker, but they're not going to get off their lazy ass and go kill somebody.
It's good to know. It's good to know. By the way, the mainstream media, and here's the problem, the mainstream media picks and chooses. If it was fair and honest and balanced, and they told the truth about everything, you wouldn't have this argument. But
what argument? if they were fair and balanced, you're the one making shit up.
The right wing is out of control. It's weird because I don't think it was the ones who was responsible for burning cities down and hundreds of attacks on Republicans. So
hundreds of attacks on Republicans. Hundreds. I can think of one. Steve Scalise, Bernie supporter, opens fire at a congressional baseball game. Opens fire on a lot of people. Scalise got the worst of it. Of the congressional members. He wasn't there to target him in particular. He was there to target Republicans. That's it. Every single one of the Jan 6 fuckers was there with a gallows to their right to hang. They were chanting, hang Nancy Pelosi. That dude, DePap, probably thought he missed out on the big party.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but there are 639 receipts for their violence and mass shooting. There was the time that Jane Fonda promoted kidnapping, caging, and raping Barron Trump. I love that one. That was...
Okay, first of all, hold on. Jane Fonda, cage, Barron Trump. That would be Peter Fonda. Hold on.
Fonda promoted kidnappings and mass shooting. There was the time that Jane Fonda promoted...
Again, he's talking... Whoops. Hi, Walmart. Peter Fonda apologized Wednesday for a late-night Twitter rant in which he suggested 12-year-old Barron Trump should be ripped from his mother's arms and put in cage with pedophiles. An all-caps tweet in the wee hours went on to call President Donald Trump an expletive. The actor later deleted the tweet and drew sharp rebukes from First Lady Melania Trump and Donald Trump Jr., the two-time Oscar nominee, brother of Jane Fonda and son of Hollywood legend Henry Fonda, said in a statement hours later he was upset over children separated from their parents on the U.S.-Mexico border. I tweeted something highly inappropriate and vulgar about the president and his family in response to the devastating images I was seeing on television. Like many Americans, I'm very impassioned and distraught over the situation, the children separated from their families. So he was basically like, it was a see how you like it tweet, which is off limits. Don't fucking do that. Also not Jane, it was Peter. But, you know, you have to understand, Glenn thinks that gender is fluid and up to the person to decide, clearly.
Kidnapping, caging, and raping Barron Trump. I love that one. That was a super favorite.
Yeah, you loved it so much you attributed it to the wrong person.
Attacked Roger Stone's handicapped wife while walking a dog. Vandalized
who did?
The homes of political opponents. Tried to kick in the front door of Tucker Carlson. Journalist that...
no, they didn't. And again...
Stabbed two Trump supporters. The home...
A who?
Journalist that stabbed two Trump supporters.
A journalist that stabbed two Trump supporters. Elijah, a Trump supporter stabbed multiple times by Antifa militant, independent journalist. Oh, I'm sorry. I blocked from reading that tweet, apparently. Vegas reporters death, example, threats to journalists. Black Trump supporters stabbed, protest says medics. Yeah, this says Elijah on Twitter. Elijah Schaefer apparently has blocked me, I guess. So I can't see that. Yeah. I can't read that one, apparently, because apparently Elijah Schaefer calls me, considers me slightly offensive. I cannot follow or see them. It's so terrible. Media crickets. So the FBI is warning about armed protests, state capitals. Court say Kyle is okay. Journalist. This says yeah. the idea that it's Antifa somehow. Police arrest county clerk and reporter stabbing death. Politician arrested. Vegas reporter slain in Vegas. Da 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 da. Yeah. Again, that's like some sort of like indie journalist, Antifa dude, supposedly hardly a Democrat, and fuck off.
The home of a Trump supporter that was bombed. They drove through a crowd of Trump supporters.
Did they?
Left dead animals and threats outside of Republican homes.
Dead animals? Dear God.
They've threatened to burn down the homes of Trump supporters, shot at Trump supporters, fired a gun at a march, beat
So you're saying Paul Pelosi deserved it, is your point?
a 77-year-old for wearing a MAGA hat, threatened Republicans on
Again, this is a gish gallop.
Twitter every day, sent rice and
Just every day.
to Trump, taught leftists to hate students. You're
just throwing that one in there. Taught leftists to hate students. Why would you have to teach leftists to hate anybody? Don't they just hate in general?
Defaced property of Trump supporters.
No, not defaced property. Well, that's the same as getting vandalism. Is the same as getting your head caved in with a fucking claw hammer.
They egged children at a Trump rally.
They egged children at a Trump. What? First of all, huh? Again, citation or didn't happen. I need a list of pictures.
Teachers threatened death on GOP.
Teachers threatened death on GOP as a party, you mean? Kind of in the abstract?
Beaten a 12-year-old boy for a Trump sign. Beat a woman for wearing a Trump hat. They've destroyed property. We have 300 stories.
Yeah, why don't you cite one specifically? And next time you cite the Peter Fonda story, attribute it to him and not Jane. I know, here's the thing. The problem is that Peter has not been as stoically left-wing as Jane has over time. And what you want is Hanoi Jane to catch shit. So you made it up in your mind that she did it, not Peter. And by the way, he apologized and said it was gross. And he was it was basically using short language. But please continue.
Like that. Just thought I would. But that, real quick, that New York Post hacker last Friday, the guy who wrote Rufo, he took over the feed of the New York Post. He worked at the New York Post, okay? He's apologized. He said, oh, man, it was just the utmost betrayal of my people. I pretended to hack into the New York Post website, and it was my job. But I let my stupidity get the best of me. But I want you to know I deserve to get fired, but it wasn't politically motivated. Let me just give you a few of the posts. Rufo, we must destroy and imprison union teachers. Zeldin, Eric Adams is New York City's fried chicken eating monkey.
Oh, these are the things that he wrote while he was on there.
Governor Abbott, I'll order Border Patrol to start slaughtering illegals. Zeldin, I'll rape and batter Hochul's sorry ass. The New York Post, he also posted, we must assassinate AOC for America. Divine, we must murder Joe and Hunter Biden. The New York Post, he posted, Frank, I'll beat up the sorry-ass Bergen bitches like Gottheimer and his family. I don't know why people say that those were politically motivated.
Well, I think he was just kind of fucking with the New York Post. The New York Post likes those people or considers people like AOC their enemies and therefore exaggerating in the attack and also hiding the fact that he took over the thing from inside.
Maybe.
Again, who gives a fuck?
Maybe there's the slightest hint of politics involved, but it's difficult to detect unless you're really a trained observer.
Yeah. I could go on. I have 135 attacks on pro-life people.
Do you now?
Just between
Tiller wouldn't be one of those people?
May 3rd and September 24th. But remember, it is the Republicans that are conspiracy theorists. One more thing. I'm sorry.
What conspiracy theorists? What a weird accidental snap. He caught himself.
Kathy Hochul has come out yesterday with a very important thing. She says that the people who mention, anything to do with the race being fixed, data deniers and conspiracy theorists, she said these are master manipulators.
Yeah, that's not fair. That is not fair at all. They're just saying that to make the people who fell for it, feel like they can come back from the edge of idiocy. What you do is, it's not your fault for buying this. People like Glenn Beck and Donald Trump, they're masters of the media. It wasn't your fault. They're great at this. Instead of going, fuck, you're a sucker. You believe this dipshit?
And, there's a conspiracy that they're peddling now, that there's this conspiracy going all across America to convince people that in democratic states, they're not safe. Wow, what a conspiracy that is.
That's him throwing to break. Also, what part of this whole thing didn't make sense other than the fact that Glenn Beck doesn't know how big the living room is, or that the door was attached to the living room, or the fact that Paul Pelosi, while he was trying to get the guy not to attack him, goes to answer the door and the guy attacks him with a hammer, grabs it and says, "I'm Paul Pelosi." And they're like, he's like, everything's good, leave us alone. And then Pelosi pulls his hand back. They tell him, let go. He lets go. The guy doesn't and attacks him. And that's the hinky part. The hinky part is, how long are Paul Pelosi's arms? Every bullshit talking point that Glenn threw around for days has eaten shit. And he's stuck with, how far were they standing from the door when the cops showed up? Ugh, God, so lazy. All right, now, by the way, you're watching SPARKS Mega Worldwide. I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. And I'm literally, I did 2 15-minute pieces and they took the whole goddamn hour. Can I do one more piece for you guys real quick? Because I got to find this one clip. This is, hold on, let me see if I can bring this up real quick before we do this.
Melody Jennings.
All right, so this is short. Well, wait, hold on. Is this? Yeah, okay, hold on. I got to open this one up. See how long this one is first. Because there's some good shit happening, and I always run out of fucking time.
I know Sebastian well.
Okay, this is the stupid part. There you go. And now, I just want to do the beginning of this clip. I'm not going to do the whole fucking thing because I know what the argument is. But Gorka has on Dinesh D'Souza on, because they have arrested the couple behind True the Vote. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I'm glad you guys loved Ficus last night. He loved taking over. It was a good thing. It was a great time. And it'll happen again at some point. I know Karen LeCaren wants to also host. So we might do that for International Women's Day or something. She's asked because she wants to strike a blow into the heart of International Women's Day as a woman. So we'll see. All right. He has on The Mess specifically because they have arrested these two assholes.
Cut 12, play cut.
It's one thing to condemn the violence, but you can't condemn the violence unless you condemn those people who continue to argue the election was not real, that it's being stolen, that all the malarkey that's being put out there to undermine democracy.
I guess that applies to our next guest, but to none
of course it does, but in a kind of cute, pathetic kind of way.
The people who are Democrats who denied the 2016 election. He is the...
Yeah, nobody actually fought it. They thought people were denied the right to vote places, but they didn't try to stop it. And congressional House members tried to, raise objections, but no one in the Senate met them about it. So on we went.
The producer, the director of this superlative 2000 Mules amongst...
Superlative. I think I have to look that up real quick. Means superlative. raging, blazing piece of shit. That's what I thought it meant.
So many other books and movies. Dinesh
Yeah, almost all of them watchable and readable.
D'Souza, welcome back to America First.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So
Okay, don't lie right out of the gate. That's never true talking to Sebastian Gorka.
Dinesh, we opened the show with the president. I was going to ask him about it, but before I could mention it, he said, did you hear about what happened to Catherine Engelbrecht and Greg Phillips, who are the center, the core of 2,000 Mules, who had the information on the
That's, first of all, that's not fair. Secondly, eek! Dial back the Botox and ease up on the foundation. It doesn't match with the rest of your skin color. Also, for the record, that's not true at all. The star of 2,000 Mules is whoever the fuck they got to be a glorified extra dressed in a hoodie with a backpack, fake stuffing ballots. That guy's got a future.
Mules, the geolocating data, arrested this morning because a federal judge wanted them to divulge the source for their information on a Chinese-connected election fraud company called Conetch. Can you give us, and have you heard anything else? Do we know?
Because they allege, by the way, that person is an FBI agent. And the FBI is like, yeah, we got nobody like that. So basically the judge is saying, tell us who you think it is, because they're not really an FBI agent. And if you're lying about them being an FBI agent, you are culpable in this case.
Know what the fate of these two brave Americans is, Dinesh?
Well, obviously they're being flown straight to Guantanamo, and since they started their hunger strike weeks ago, they're going to have to be fed through a tube, Guantanamo style. All right.
Well, the judge appears to be trying to, quote, teach them a lesson of some sort. He says he's going to incarcerate them for at least a day.
Oh, dear God. But, it's the end of it all. At least a day. Wait a minute. Those fucking words came out of the judge's mouth. And yeah, I don't know why the audio is low. I tried to turn it up on my end. For at least a day. I mean, these people, they are the founding fathers.
I think what he's trying to say is that he's annoyed that they won't give him the names of their sources. Now, evidently the sources came forward in the expectation and on the condition that their identities be protected. We live in an age where people get doxxed, they get harassed, they get intimidated. Apparently one of the sources is within the FBI. So.
Uh-huh. Hi. Yeah. There's what? Oh, great. I'll be along in a moment. Thanks. There's a salad waiting for me, guys. Just saying.
So, kudos to Catherine and Greg for sticking.
Yes, for doing the hard fight. Oh, fuck. I'm not doing a goddamn hour-long segment on a 60-minute clip for people who went to jail for almost a day. Shut the front door. Okay, let's go here. This is shorter. This is, good Lord. David Hasselhoff looks like shit. I'm just kidding. So this is Steve Band-Aid, who hates democracy almost as much as he hates soap. Here we go.
By their convictions.
Oh shit! Hold on, I clicked the wrong button. Here we go. That's not what his voice sounds like. He has on who's this? Jennings. Biden's Justice Department likely to defy a federal court's ballot box monitor ruling. Now this is she's upset that the people who are waiting outside of ballot drop-off places are being watched.
Joins us now. This is a very important story.
Okay, this is louder than the other clip. I don't know what the fuck is going on at Gorka Town.
Because this is going to get to the heart of impeaching Merrick Garland. And Merrick Garland is going to get impeached.
No, he's not.
The Justice Department has done something quite extraordinary. A federal judge, Melody, walk me through. You had another victory yesterday.
Wow, and I thought I had crawling ants on my green screen.
And this is about the people watching the mail-in box.
You're going to need a brighter base light. She needs Steve, you need to get her a ring light or something.
Boxes in Arizona specifically. right? And they're fully compliant with how far they got to stay away, and they got their cameras, and they're there in person because camera footage alone can't be used in a court. And people are, some of these people that are not your people, some of these people are in camis, and some of these people are open carry because Arizona's an open carry state.
Yeah, but who the fuck are they? They're wearing masks and they have guns. I don't give a fuck if Arizona's an open carry state. Is Arizona, here's the big question, is Arizona an open carry state for non-citizens? Can a Mexican cartel member come across the border, and as long as they are walking around a parking lot with a gun and a mask on and a hat and glasses, they can just, as long as they've got a gun, they can not be bothered. They don't have to be asked who the fuck they are. They can hide their identity. Because you're going to have to convince me that these fuckers are, who the fuck says they're election monitors? Who the fuck says they're U.S. citizens? Who says that they're not felons who've lost their right to vote? They're masked. You know, like true patriots. Get the fuck out of here.
And they've tried to shut you down. Just tell me where you stand with the
Shut her down. She's not there, dummy.
Courts, ma'am, in this fight.
Yes, we had another victory yesterday. The same Mark Elias group tried to get an injunction to go ahead and enforce the TRO that Judge Liberty struck down on Friday, and make us basically not be able to watch drop boxes until the Ninth Court of Appeals ruled, and he struck that down and said, nope, they can keep watching. So another victory.
Here's the thing. They're fighting the wrong fight. Of course it's the right of a citizen to watch this. Why the fuck do they get to menace people with guns? Also, how the fuck do I know I'm being watched by a U.S. citizen? Why is the right wing of America fighting for the right for the Chinese military or the Russian military to send like poll watchers over here on fucking fake student visas to cover their eyes, their face, and their head with a hat, mask, and glasses, and carry a gun, scaring people away from ballot boxes this close to a fucking election with no ID? And don't give me this shit, they're wearing an American flag. Where'd they get that? At the Herschel Walker badge store?
Victory for us, another victory for the side of all Americans everywhere, and for the First
except for these people in these parking lots who you have not proven are Americans.
Amendment, the Constitution. And
they are not subjects of the Constitution. They are not citizens. I would need proof.
Let me also say,
sure, go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting more information on, first of all, the two people that were in camis, and evidently they haven't shown up in quite a while, but they were 100 feet away back from what I'm understanding. I wasn't there. They were tucked between two cars way back, no lights on them, not visible, minding their own business. And
yeah, you know, as you do. You're going to find out these fuckers actually were doing a drug deal like Breaking Bad style in this fucking parking lot. And they're like, the fuck are these assholes in folding chairs doing here? We're trying to do a drug deal. I don't know. Just pretend you're an election watcher and nobody will bother you.
It was someone in the press, or I don't know who, circled them, found them, and then blew that up. And also the story of them having long guns. I've not seen a single picture. I don't know, but I don't see anything. It's a matter of fact, they had. I saw a sidearm.
Is the
a sidearm? Sidearm? They have them chest mounted. You dumb fuck.
Harassment coming from the media? Isn't the media come up in people's faces and putting cameras in people's faces?
No. You know why? Because their faces are fucking covered. You cannot complain that the media is putting a camera in your fucking face if your face is not fucking showing. Whoever the fuck you are.
Is not the harassment coming from the regime?
No. They are not harassing U.S. citizens. Nobody, I refuse to, I will not play in the sandbox that these people are legit citizens if they're going to cover their fucking faces. These are, by the way, the same people who are like, masks are a form of tyranny during COVID, and now these motherfuckers are like, fucking, we are fighting for freedom. Who are you? No comment.
Regime media, ma'am?
I believe it's someone in concert with the media. We actually found this person's Twitter account, and the person
in concert with it. Oh, you mean somebody posted the pictures on Twitter and the media ran the pictures, so they're in concert like the rest of social media?
Accepting all the accolades.
Cammy Underoos, that's right.
For doing this. And then we see that person laughing it up with the media. We have those pictures. So yeah, it's very telling.
Well, very telling. They filmed people with guns in camouflage, masked, in fucking parking lots, allegedly watching drop boxes.
Now,
and by the way, those assholes do look kind of funny. They're scary if you think they might actually shoot you, but on social media, from a distance, they look like utter dipshits.
The more disturbing thing is why is a federal judge is ruling on this? Why is the Justice Department coming in Daily Mail? This is not Breitbart. This is not Gateway Pundit. This is not Citizens Free Press. Daily Mail is reporting that this is so extraordinary for DOJ to get involved here, but the DOJ actually is looking to potentially arrest citizens that are complying with Arizona state law about.
No. Again, I would argue there is no proof that they are citizens, and their fellow citizens are supposed to take it on faith that these armed people lurking around fucking drop boxes with their faces hidden are registered voters from the area, that they have some level of input in Arizona fucking politics. And if these pricks turn out to be Michiganders down there because they're on orders from Trump harassing people in a district they don't even fucking vote in, it's the same level as if they're not even fucking citizens in the first place. Get the fuck out of here. If people in that district want to watch their drop boxes because they don't fucking trust them, then fine. But people will know them because it's their fucking neighbors. Meanwhile, these assholes are like, the federal government has too much control of states' rights, but you can send people across state lines from other states to police the elections inside other states?
Watching mail-in ballot drop-off boxes. Ma'am, am I correct in all that?
First of all, they're not watching the drop boxes. They're watching people voting to see if they're voting illegally, allegedly. And again, I don't even take that as given. Why the fuck do I take that as this being real?
That's what I understand. And
she's in charge of this shit. That's what I understand. You don't even know who the fuck... she doesn't even know who the fuck these people are.
I'm at a loss for words to understand how that can happen against the law.
I'll tell you why. Because they're from other districts. They have no say in that particular election. And they are threatening or menacing voters in a district they don't belong in, if they are citizens at all.
I'm kind of speechless trying to understand how that they think that they have any footing whatsoever.
Well, it's good that you have a mic, because nothing says speechless like a mic and headphones and being on the war room.
Ever to come after people who are literally just sitting out there protecting the rule of law.
Yeah, they're not. They're menacing people. People are going to be afraid to bring their family's ballots on behalf of their family because these motherfuckers might go, "Who are you? One person? That was 5 fucking votes. Lay on the ground. Who the fuck are you?" Right? And then they make a run for it. The person shoots them for democracy.
Out there, not because anybody's trying to do anything harmful. We're protecting voters. We actually have signs out there now that say, "Thank you for voting. We are your neighbors, your friends."
Prove it. Prove it. Uncover your fucking face. Put your name and address on your fucking sign. "Hi, I'm Bill Jenkins. I'm from, 301 Jackson Avenue. I'm a ward captain, blah, 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 self-appointed. And I'm here to make sure that everybody gets a chance to vote." Instead of masked fucker with gun loitering deep in parking lot.
So the people out there, whether they're joined up because of my rally cry across the United States or because other groups were getting together to do this, we're there because we believe that there was something stolen in 2020 and just...
Yes, and you're going to be very disappointed when your people lose again and there wasn't.
Because you don't, we do. If something was stolen, is it okay if we sit out there and just help protect your vote? I mean, if we lose...
Yeah, again, prove to me that you're protecting anybody's vote instead of just scaring people off. Making sure Hispanics are nervous to use drop boxes. So maybe they'll put off voting until voting day and something will get in between them and they won't be able to vote. And you can mute the vote by 300,000 votes over the course of a state.
Our election, if we lose our ability to vote, we lose our country.
You don't have to apologize at all.
No, absolutely not. Except for that background, which is a green screen, and yet, is that supposed to be a voting office? Is she pretending to be in there after hours?
These mules, hey, what you guys
They're not mules. They were never mules. Fuck off.
have done is deterrence. A mule would understand.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the new storyline. There you go. That's the storyline. The storyline is that they totally did it last time, but since we were watching, they were too scared to do it this time. Turnout's higher than it was in 2018, and we're going to lose in a bunch of these areas, and we're going to cry foul and say it was stolen, even though we were watching and nothing fucking happened. And their own friends and family and their fellow travelers are going to freak out at them because they believe that they should have seen something. You should have seen it. They clearly stole it. Why didn't you see them steal it?
Dan, hey, these people are going to have the hairy eyeball on me, okay?
Okay. That's... you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. The hairy eyeball?
So I don't care about Merrick Garland. He's getting impeached, and this is going to be another article. This is a lawless Justice Department. They're completely lawless. They
says the guy who's going to jail for not showing up for a subpoena where apparently he has nothing to hide.
Back in May of 2021, when they sent that letter out there about people going to canvass, they said you could be involved in criminal activity. This is protect the regime. And the regime.
Yeah, no. A fucking year after the election, you're going to knock on people's door and go, who'd you vote for? You're not canvassing. That's voter intimidation, fucko.
Regime ends on the evening of November 8th, or maybe if it takes them longer to count these phony mail-in ballots, if it takes them
See, he's already priming the pump that it's going to be stolen again.
Longer to count the mail-in ballots. Hey, maybe it's the 9th, or maybe it's the 10th when the regime is totally finished. But your days are numbered. Okay, the regime is crashing before us, and we're proud to have buried it. We said on this show we're going to kill it in the crib. Well, hey,
kill it in the crib, dude. It's going by terms, it's 50 years old at this point.
Guess what? It started. It took us 2 years to do it, but the regime.
Yes, it is. So he's not killing it in the crib. He's drowning a toddler. You know, he loves those kinds of analogies.
Regime is finished. Okay.
Yeah, there is no regime. It's an administration.
Hey, the regime. Let me repeat this, Merrick Garland.
Yeah, this doesn't make it any more powerful because you say it over and over again. As a matter of fact, it sounds dumber the more frequently you say it.
And all your cronies around you, you're getting turfed out.
That's not turfed out. That's like, you know, the result of redistricting, or does he mean it like the Warriors? Can you, our turf, our little piece of turf.
And the Melody Jennings of the world, the citizens.
Because it's all our turf. Can you dig it? All right.
They're staying up that now you're going out of your way to harass. And that's what it is. This is harassment.
Yes, that those people with guns at ballot boxes, that's harassment. Yeah, they're fucking with people who are just trying to vote, just trying to drop their shit off and go back to work.
By the federal government, right? This is harassment. Even the Daily Mail sitting there going, it's extraordinary that this is being done. Why?
Well, the Daily Mail has to explain to me then who the fuck these people are. Prove to me they are U.S. citizens.
Watch the federal court. You've been blown out in the courts 2 times. Melody, once again, how do people get to your site?
It's just this is how he brooms everybody.
How do they volunteer? If they're so inclined, how do they hit you with a donation?
Clean Elections US.
Clean is actually, I'm not going to help sell the site. And besides, I got to get the fuck out of here. There's a salad waiting for me upstairs. You guys are wonderful, by the way. Thank you guys so much for the support today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, JD Christie. Thank you, Lucky Roller. Bless you for that. Let's see. Nicholas, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Templeton's a rat. Hey, Hal, great takedown as always. You got to have a midterms watch party. Yes, I will be having a midterms watch party. We will be, I don't know that we'll have to go 24 hours. It won't be required. We'll do like 2 long days, you know, into the night and then up the next day because it's not going to be like, you know, the regular election. We're going to be fine. Aaron West, thank you so much. Trucker John, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Stargal, thank you for gifting the subs. I really appreciate it. Kath, Shadow Woman, thank you for gifting the subs to people. That was really lovely. Oh my gosh, just a big handful of those. Thank you. Issues Bunny says she resubscribed. My second anniversary in 2 days. Reading this nib comic this morning and had to laugh, cry. The superhero Spark Man uses truthification ray, forcing Republicans to say nothing but the truth on Ted Cruz and MTG. Coincidence? Wow, there's a Spark Man superhero? By God. I think it's time that I have a character that I could... All right. Come on now. Spark Man. Flaggy dooga dooga fliggy fliggy dag. Treva, thank you so much as well. Marcia says, check the Cash App. Okay, I will. I don't have the Cash App. Oh, it's on my phone. Hold on one second. I will do just that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Think about being a Patreon supporter. You can do it in one fell swoop for the year, and they give you a discount or something like that. It's pretty friggin' great. They're checking the Cash App, and the Cash App says, Marcia, oh my gosh, Marcia, thank you so much. And Nicole, please get on Rumble, she says. That's okay. Again, yes, I'll build that account. I will. I got to pay for it, so it's no fun. I keep adding fees and services to try and expand the show. It's very expensive. But we're in the growth period. It's a new show. I've only been on for 2 years and change. Come on. Cut me some slack. I've only been doing, I've only been doing the show regular for what, a year and change? Because it took me a while to get a regular schedule. I mean, I tried to get the afternoon. The morning show is relatively brand new, and it's a huge hit. I'm just saying, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 2 hours, talking about the trendages. We might have to find another trend source if Twitter ends up being a shit show. We'll figure it out. I've gotten a couple of tickles on other social media sites that people are like, hey, if there was a thing, would you join the thing? And I'm like, maybe I'd join the thing if there was a thing. And they're like, cool, that'd be great. Could you maybe think about joining the thing if we made a thing? Yeah, I'd join the thing if you make a thing. So just throwing that out there. That'll happen at some point, and I'll let you guys know. Meanwhile, I will continue to use the tool before me, which is ubiquity. I will put my stuff everywhere just because it will aggravate and clog up the feed of the very people I set out to irritate, take down, and make an example of. And that's why I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the morning show. And I think Philip may be able to join us, depending on air raids and power. That's a thing in Kiev. In the morning show, hopefully he'll be able to join us. If not, then on Friday or Saturday. And then all's well insofar as I know. And then, so we'll catch up with what's going on in Ukraine tomorrow morning. And then regular afternoon show where I have a couple of surprises. I'm just going to say, that's the biggest tease I can get. There's a salad calling my name. I got to go. All right, anyways, take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And I will see you guys come the morn. Bye.